secondary having a great year, too. Hayes, Osteen, Davis, and Owens.
They lead the league in interceptions. They can really play the close man-to-man coverage.
Number 37 at the bottom of your picture is Hayes, and he's the league leader with 11.
They're crowding them now. They're crowding the Cowboys right now.
Ron Springs replaces Newhouse, and that's Springs to the outside. Dropped it, stopped by Rod Martin.
And nobody to throw to downfield. Danny White looked downfield and then just dumped it out to Springs. Rod Martin plays the outside, too. He's been cut a couple of times and has come back now to make Al Davis's selection look pretty good.
Keeps bouncing back. And Al Davis, who has done quite a rebuilding job, as has Tom Landry and Tex Schramm and the Cowboy organization. Butch Johnson, Preston Pearson in the offensive picture now. Butch comes out wide to the right. Preston Pearson stays back in the backfield.
And Mullen moved into the line. They're going to put a rush on.
A lot of people feel that's the best way to counteract the shotgun. It's intended for Butch Johnson. Otis McKinney, the 5th defensive back for Oakland, is on the defense, and Danny White will stay in the punt.
And the thing they say about the Oakland defense, it never lines up the same way twice. Hendricks even goes on his own a lot, but it's hard to look at movies and films and try to get a game plan because they're never in the same thing twice.
As a rule, they start with a 3-man front, and then they make a lot of changes. Sometimes 6 defensive backs, sometimes 5 as they had then, sometimes a 4-man front.
Look out for Ira Matthews.
He is back deep for Oakland. Danny White the punt. Under a pretty good rush, and Matthews will field it at the 45, and Oakland will start in good shape. Down inside the 35 to the 34. It'll be 1st and 10 Oakland. Benny Barnes made the tackle, but the Raiders come out with a lot of smoke. 33-yard kick by White.
And remember, they've already gotten the idea that Washington is kicking San Diego around. This would really be a notch on the belt for them to knock this one off today. Move ahead in the division.
The Oakland offensive line, Shell, Upshaw, the veterans, Dalby, another veteran, one of 2 centers the franchise has had. Marvin Lawrence and Raymond Chester, the tight end.
There's Brandt, Bobby Chandler, who's a great one-on-one receiver, Plunkett, Jensen, and Van Egan.
2 fullbacks operating for Oakland. And Plunkett goes back to work. Pulls it down and throws high, intended for one of his fullbacks, Derek Jensen. Looking back into the sunlight, and Plunkett hung it a little too high. Charlie Waters back with him.
And Randy White came in and actually got part of Plunkett. The pocket stayed together pretty decently for the first play. Again, it was run action with 2 big running backs in there. Here it is, Jones, Cole, Randy White, and Harvey Martin. Watch for Harvey Martin against Shell. Quickness can beat Shell.
The Dallas linebackers, Hegman, Brunig at the middle, and D.D. Lewis.
Barnes, Mitchell, Waters, and Thurman for Stallings secondary, and they're beginning to play really good football back there.
It'll be 2nd and 10 Oakland. At the Dallas 34. Dallas goes into the flex, and Plunkett gets to Matthews. Nothing doing is Larry Cole, who was sick overnight with a dose of the flu. Here's the final score. The Falcons beat the Eagles.
Almost made it into overtime, didn't it? Here's the flex. You can see Larry Cole is up on the far side, and Too Tall Jones is coming inside to seal it off. And, of course, the fellow that scores touchdowns against the Redskins made a good penetration tackle.
In the Atlanta-Philadelphia game, Tim Mazzetti kicked a 37-yard field goal with 7 seconds left to win for Atlanta. Blitz is on. Raymond Chester beats it, as does Plunkett. First down Oakland.
Randy Hughes made the tackle, but that time the Cowboys came with a blitz. It up. Let's take a look at it. Working on. There's Cole being picked up. Plunkett just did get it away. A great play by the quarterback. Plunkett had to hang in there.
Dennis Thurman from his safety position. 14-yard gain, first down Oakland at the Dallas 23. Dallas victory today then would tie them with Philadelphia for the lead in the NFC East. Atlanta will continue to lead Los Angeles, depending upon what happens to them against Buffalo. Chandler in motion. Van Egan, the ball carrier. Couple. Right now, let's go to Brent Musburger in the NFL Today.
All right, Pat Summerall. Now, here's the situation in Philadelphia. There was an interception by the Eagles that was nullified that gave Atlanta this chance. 7 seconds to go in regulation time. Atlanta beats the Eagles 2017, and Atlanta's in the playoffs. Back to Pat Summerall.
Plunkett on 2nd and 8 went to Van Egan. And as so many of the Dallas Cowboys did in pregame warm-up, Van Egan slipped down after being wide open. D.D. Lewis made sure he stayed there.
And this is the pass that Jimmy Plunkett is not supposed to be able to pull off. The short passes have always given him trouble. He's got the great long arm, but lately, particularly the last 2 or 3 games, the short passing game has sort of deserted him. But that was a real good play again for Plunkett.
It's a final score. Buffalo beat Los Angeles 10-7. A field goal of 36 yards by Mickemeyer with just over 9 minutes to go, and the Bills beat Los Angeles. And so Atlanta moves further ahead. And Oakland moves further down the field as Kenny King, who was not supposed to play, gets the carry.
He's got a badly sprained ankle. He's been limping around all week, but he's the outside speed that the Raider attack really needs. If they go with just 2 big backs, Dallas can really cut down their options. But if Kenny King can play at all today, now he's leaving and he's limping a little bit, but that was a big carry then on 1st down.
Oakland now will operate with the 2 fullbacks, Derek Jensen and Mark Van Egan at 2nd and 5. The line of scrimmage, the Dallas 6. No score yet, but Oakland at the door. Plunkett drops. Good protection, penalty marker down. Chester touchdown.
Looks like offensive holding.
And now the indicators against Dallas.
They tried to hold Raymond Chester up on the line of scrimmage. Let's see if the big tight end, see if he can pick it up now. By the way, the pass protection is excellent. Here's Harvey Martin to the outside. Shell's doing the job on him. And evidently somebody grabbed Raymond Chester as he came off the line of scrimmage. Good-looking play and a great-looking drive by Oakland.
Enforced on the kickoff.
You heard the call from the referee, Jerry Markbright, that the penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The Vikings and the Buccaneers. Minnesota winning, eliminating Tampa Bay from playoff possibilities. 21-10 the final.
Barr has missed 2 extra points in 36 attempts.
Last week was a really tough time. Bob Chandler is the holder. Barr. The extra point is good. And the Raiders, with 10 minutes, 1 second left first quarter, lead 7-0 over Dallas.
Impressively, too. They took it and shoved it right on in, didn't they?
Remember, there will be a penalty enforced on the kickoff. 7-0 Oakland.
Excuse me. I'm not the same crazy coach who used to storm around the sidelines yelling at the officials. I've learned to relax, and I drink light beer from Miller. Do you know that light's got 1/3 less calories than a regular beer? And listen to this. Light doesn't fill me up. Besides that, light tastes fantastic. Oh, sure, there are a lot of other beers around, and you can drink any one you want. But let me tell you this. For
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
As I was saying, I don't care what anybody else...
Well, looks like you lead a comfortable life.
I do okay.
Now, let me tell you something. You do better in comfortable clothes. Like Hager Magic Stretch.
Hey, a stretch waistband.
Special stretch woven fabric, too.
Nice.
And Hager has lots of great looks that won't squeeze your wallet. In Hager Magic Stretch, you'll feel as good as you look.
What could be better?
You couldn't ask for more than Hager, especially for the holidays.
At the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, Pat Summerall of Tom Brookshire. Barr will kick off from midfield after Randy White was called for an illegal head slap.
Head slap, huh? That, by the way, is the 3rd touchdown catch for Chester, former #1 draft choice that went to Baltimore and then came back home. But he's one of the fastest of all the tight ends. He also blocks on the line of scrimmage. Some tight ends these days are just outside receivers, but he can actually block, too.
Barr to kickoff from the 50. A spiral on the kickoff to James Jones. I don't recall having seen that before. For another NFL Today report, let's go to Brent Musburger.
Pat, thank you very much. Here's the field goal you mentioned in overtime by Buffalo that downed the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are now in big trouble. If Atlanta beats San Francisco next Sunday, then they wrap up the NFC West. The final again, Buffalo 10, Los Angeles 7. Let's send you back to Pat Summerall.
Oakland leads Dallas 7-0. Touchdown pass from Plunkett to Raymond Chester. Dallas now with the football, their second possession of the day. Billy Bill Dupree swings in motion. Tony Dorsett off to the left side.
Pat, the perfect example of how Hendricks plays from the linebacking spot. As I've told you, he's allowed to go on his own sometimes, and he's such a good natural football player that he can still get back and cover a zone on the drop. That time, he just fogged in behind the play and actually made the tackle from behind on the far side of the formation.
The Mad Stork, who is 6'7", and 225 or thereabouts. He may be a little bit heavier than that now, but playing perhaps the best football of his career.
Used to be a defensive end. He could play that well, too.
Jay Salvi lines up as the tight end on the right side now as Drew Pearson goes in motion. Handoff is to Newhouse. And Newhouse breaks a couple of tackles, as he always seems to be able to do, and rolls around for about a pickup of 4. Rod Martin finally made the tackle.
You're not going to make a living, though, running against this Oakland defense. They've held the opposition to the lowest total per rush, 3.4 per rush. 102 yards total is all they allow, and they make you pay for every single yard. Boy, Newhouse really got hit.
And now Dallas will operate on 3rd and 1 from their own 29 with 3 tight ends. Cosby, Salvi, and Dupree. Salvi moves over to the left behind Cosby now. And now Salvi comes back on the outside maneuver. Dallas tries for the first down. Looks like they have it. Matuzak. A reformed John Matuzak.
Is he something, though? They say he's conscientious, but I'll tell you one thing, he's a load. Watch him, number 72 to the left part of your screen. He's 6'8" or 9", about 285. And when you see him just in street clothes, he looks like he weighs about 185 until you walk up next to him.
The Browns beat the Jets 17-14, and Cleveland continues to roll, upping their record to 9-4. They had trailed for a long time. 10-4 make it. White, with a lot of time, chased by Hendricks. Fires for Dupree, and he has it. Pickup of about 5. Hendricks all over Danny White. Mike Davis made the tackle on Dupree.
And notice now, when the receivers get the ball, they're immediately tackled. A good man-to-man defensive team, and there are not many of them around in the NFL these days. Here's Hendricks putting on pressure from the outside. Actually almost has a sack. And Dupree, as soon as he takes the ball, he's already being hit by Mike Davis, the young man out of Colorado. They really climb on top of your receivers in a hurry.
4-yard pickup after all that. Raymond Chester, who scored the touchdown for Oakland, number 88. Dorsett breaks into the secondary. A Tony hit by Burgess Owens, and had it not been for Owens, Dorsett was off to the races. First down, Dallas.
Donovan and Herb Scott did a great job on the left side. Now look at the center now. That's Fitzgerald. He gets good position. Donovan just buried the inside man that filled that hole, the linebacker. It's a pretty good-looking pop play.
Dorsett goes out to get a little breather. That first down by Dallas puts them up at their own 47-yard line. As you look at the Oakland coach and their ex-quarterback, Tom Flores.
Dallas has been throwing on first down. Now they're going to run this. No, they're throwing again.
Danny White looking deep. Incomplete. Good coverage by Oakland. Intended for James Jones, and 3 Raiders all around him.
Well, Willie Brown, you know, that played so many great years of all-pro ball here at Oakland. He's in charge of the secondary. And he says, Tom, I told him to go up and take that first hit inside 5 yards and play the heck out of him with a free safety, man-to-man.
Perhaps you saw that final score. Washington 40, San Diego 17. And that makes this an even bigger game for the Oakland Raiders.
I can hear him warming the engine up in the driver's seat, they call it, right?
In his truck. Pearson and Hill both split wide to the right. Dorsett and Timmy Newsom now the setback for Dallas, and this is Dorsett. Looking but finding no place to go as Hendricks converges with some help from Bob Nelson.
Again, look how the play was foiled right from the start. Here's the 34. That's Kinlaw over the nose there. He beat out Pear, who's one of the great nosemen. A couple years ago was All-Pro. Good reaction out of the 34. Look at 62 move right over in front of the hole. And they got it from the backside.
San Diego's record, by the way, after that loss to Washington is 9-5. Oakland 9-4 coming into this contest. Third down and 10 at the 47 from the shotgun.
Look, everybody's in the line of scrimmage on defense. They got all 11 men up.
A lot of them blitz. Preston Pearson. Preston steps out of one tackle and finally steps out of bounds. Can't tell yet whether he got the first down or not. He's very near, however.
Jeff Barnes finally just barely did get enough on him to force him out. I have never seen a defense like this since the old Chicago Bears deal. They were all 11 within a yard of the line of scrimmage. And, Patrick, you're right. They came from everywhere. Good play here by Barnes.
The only difference was when the Bears played it, it was before the forward pass.
Well, they used to keep hitting you all the way to the end zone. There never so many deviated septums around the league in those days.
No face mask and very few helmets. 5:27 left first quarter. White to Dorsett. Burgess Owens, the safety man, made the tackle on Tony D. And again, looks like he might need a rest for a moment. He got about 8.
To a man, though, after the Redskin game, they talked to the Redskin people, and every one of the Redskin players says the Cowboys are not physical. Now, they didn't say they weren't great or good. They finesse you, they do the execution, the technique is superb, but they are not a physical team, and Oakland is a physical team. Maybe
Easier that way, that finesse way. Across the bay, the Saints 7, the 49ers nothing at Candlestick. Dorsett deep in the eye. Dorsett again rambles into the Oakland secondary down to the 20 behind a good block by Timmy Newsom.
And Fitzgerald is working at offensive center. He plays hurt a lot. Dorsett, of course, heading for another 1,000-yard year. If he gets it, he'll be the first guy ever to have 1,004 in a row. Good trap block by Rafferty coming across, too. That's a big hole. Again, against the 34, you can run at the bubble. You can run at those linebackers. But you got to block the nose man, and you got to hold off that defensive end. Good job.
You know, we talked to Fitzgerald before the game. He is not the offensive center. It's 52, Robert Shaw.
Is Shaw in there playing?
Shaw is playing now. In fact, I asked Fitz before the game if he was going to play it. He said no. And so Shaw is getting a chance and doing a good job. Dorsett moves inside the 20, stopped by Nelson again. Cowboy fans, some of them, many of them, in fact, have made the trip. You could tell by the noise in the hotel last night.
All night. These people with blue and white never went to sleep last night, I tell you.
It'll be second down now from the 20 as Oakland stopped that last effort for no gain. The Raiders lead the Cowboys 7-0. Touchdown pass from Jim Plunkett to Raymond Chester.
Oakland's up crowding the line of scrimmage again.
One man deep. Cowboys give to Dorsett, and Dorsett will score. Dorsett on the outside, trap blocked by Jay Saldi.
He now has 61 yards. He's heading for 1,000. He only needs about 5 or 6 more. Again, you run straight at it. If everybody is strung out all the way across the field, if you can get 2 good blocks. Boys, a good block by Scott on the linebacker, and a superb block.
And a good block by Timmy Newsom as well. And Dorsett doesn't need much more than that.
That's one of the slickest, fastest drives you'll ever see. It didn't seem like it had much going. Half the way through it, it looked like it was going to sputter, and then it took off.
A lot of that finesse you were talking about was involved in that one. It'll be Charlie Waters holding. Raquel Septien kicking. He has 51 in a row this year. Make it 5-2. And make the score in this contest, Dallas 7, Oakland 7. The drive put together like a picture puzzle.
Introducing the totally new Lynx from Lincoln Mercury. Lynx is not only the most fuel-efficient American-built wagon, Lynx is the first one with front-wheel drive and fully independent suspension. Starting today, the world belongs to an American car. Starting today, the world belongs to Lynx.
Here's another Radio Shack Christmas gift idea. Our exclusive Science Fair 150-in-1 electronic project kit, just $29.95. Learn electronics by building safe, solderless battery and solar radios, transmitters, computer circuits, electronic sound effects, even LED digital readouts. Give 150 gifts they'll enjoy long after Christmas. The Super Science Fair Kit, only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
Next week, a Super Sports Saturday, the Giants battle the Redskins, followed by the Mixed Team Golf Classic and the Sports Spectacular with figure skating and the Great American Truck Race next Saturday on CBS Sports.
I have heard of 10-gallon hats. That looks like about a 30-gallon hat.
But he's got 10 burritos in that thing.
3:07 left to play in the first quarter in Oakland as Septien will kick off. Matthews and Moody back deep. This is Keith Moody. To the 10. Still spinning. To the 16, perhaps.
Crosby did a good job of getting down there and throwing the big tight end, number 84.
And Guy Brown finally made the tackle after Crosby made him commit. So Oakland will take over at their own 16. First and 10 with 2:55 left in the first quarter. It's Dallas 7, Oakland 7.
Introducing the revolutionary twin-action shaving system engineered to outperform twin blades. The new Norelco Rotatract razor. Inside 3 floating heads, Rotatract works like twin blades to grip hair. Raise it up, then razor it off, hundreds of times a second, for a shave that's twin blade close without a nick or cut. The new twin-action Norelco Rotatract razor. Cord and rechargeable. Twin blade closeness, but no gotcha.
Watch out. Winter's almost here, and wind's gonna get you, and cold's gonna get you, and high fuel bills are gonna get you, because you still haven't added more insulation to your attic. So do it now. Get more Owens Corning fiberglass insulation and add another layer to put your house in the pink. See your dealer or contractor. Buy more Owens Corning fiberglass insulation now, before winter gets you.
Monday, it's a
great big knockdown, drag-out party.
Flo gives a friend a final send-off, but will Farley make her wing-ding a downer? Find out Monday night.
Must say that the people in Oakland, the Oakland organization, have been very, very gracious to us. And that welcome, I know, is sincere, and we thank you. First and 10 at the 16 for the silver and black. Outside the 25 and almost a first down before Charlie Waters made the tackle. And let's see who they
ran
jumped on.
Right at Randy White. Let's see where Randy went. They were pulled off the line. The flex was back in sort of a bowed position that time. Let's take a look at it. Well, maybe we won't take a look at it.
Yes, we will.
All right, quickly from behind Van Egan. Let's see what happened. Brunick also got caught inside. Randy White was outside.
Dave Dalby, the offensive center, did the number on Brunick. Van Egan this time will have the first down. Charlie Waters again led the defensive surge. He only needed about a half yard, and he got it.
Remember the days when Shell and Upshaw on that left side, and of course Dalby, he's only the second center they've ever had in this town. It was Jim Otto and then Dalby, right? But they used to run left about as well as any team I ever saw from that left formation.
Which just goes to show and prove again how intelligent they are. Because when you have those two over there, you might as well take advantage of them. It'll be first and 10 at the 27. 7-7, Dallas Oakland. Up to about the 30 is Mark Van Egan. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended For the private use of our audience, any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Oakland Raiders and the National Football League is prohibited.
One thing you've got to worry about defensively, you've got to double Cliff Branch most of the time because he can still probably get a 9-300 number 21. But that also makes Bob Chandler, a solo coverage effort that is hard to do. It's very tough to do it.
Benny Barnes has Chandler out wide to the right, Frank wide to the left. Plunkett looking in that direction and throwing and has Grant out of bounds. Incomplete. Aaron Mitchell on the coverage.
Aaron was laying off about 10 yards. I saw on the play before, but he recovered and boosted the whole play out of bounds. Good recovery by the cornerback. Upshaw doing a good job, and Art Shell is doing a real good job on Harvey Martin. It was out of bounds, all right.
It was a good call. He got 1 foot down on the white surface, which of course is out of bounds. Tiptoed in on the green grass.
But be careful. He runs the up as well as anybody. He'll run a 9 and run right by you.
That play then could be just as effective as a complete pass, because you have to keep all that in mind. 3rd and 6 at the 31. Plunkett has time. Chased by White. Waters might have deflected it, intended for Bob Chandler, and Waters may have gotten a hand on it.
Looked like it went right through Chandler's hands, but I think Waters did get a piece of it. Again, the nickel defense, and Dallas plays it extremely well. Those guys on the underneath side make it very tough for a quarterback to find anybody.
Cowboys had a couple of guys who got sick last night. They think some kind of flu. Ironically, it was Cole and Dutton, both of whom play the same position.
This fellow can really punt it. He was getting 5-second hang times before the game.
He is also their 3rd quarterback. Mark Wilson is Plunkett's backup at the moment, as Pastorini has not yet been activated. Ray Guy, long, one of the outstanding punters in the league. This is not one of his best. James Jones will let it bounce. And Dallas will take over at the 25 as the Raiders down it. Jeff Barnes was down. And Ray Guy with a plastic jacket underneath his regular black Oakland jersey. 7-7.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
This is Rally Leader. You out there, Chuck?
We're pedaling as fast as we can.
Everybody else is here. Where are you?
Well, we've got ourselves sort of a weight handicap.
How'd that happen?
You guys just brought the bread and cheese. We got a whole trunk full of Lowenbrow.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Well, we're glad you made it.
Who, us or the Lowenbrow?
The first electronic football games like these were for only one player.
End run.
But something was missing.
Can I play? Wait your turn.
Then along came head-to-head electronic football by Coleco.
Now we can play at the same time. I'm offense. I'm defense.
With head-to-head, you're really in the game. A power sweep. He fights through for the tackle. You pass. He blitzes. Intercepts.
This is real competition.
Why settle for a one-player game when you can have it all? Play alone, against the computer, or for real competition, play
head-to-head.
Why settle for less?
Next Saturday, some of the best men and women golfers on the tour pair up for a test of strategy and teamwork in the Mixed Team Golf Classic. All part of a Super Sports Saturday next week on CBS.
That's the final score. Cincinnati 34, Baltimore 33.
Oh. Remember, this offensive team has scored 51 touchdowns, but 2 of those games were when they were blowing somebody out, San Francisco and Seattle.
Gives to Dorsett again, straight up the middle this time. Tony Dorsett gets a couple. It is 7-7 at the Coliseum in Oakland.
You know, I've always wondered why coaches don't go quickly to the unbalanced line, the one that Joe Kuharich made so famous, the unbalanced line against the 34 defense. Then the nose guard has to decide whether to get over the center or over the overbalanced side of the offensive line. I think it'd give them something to think about.
Come and count them up.
All right, there may be some coaches listening to this. Dorsett now has passed the 1,000-yard mark for the 4th consecutive year as a pro. He did it 4 years in college, and he did it before that in high school. The throw is to Dorsett. He'll have a first down and more. Out of bounds in front of the Dallas bench by Rod Martin.
Got a good block by Scott on the outside. Boy, this is some good catch. Watch the catch of this ball by Dorsett. Everybody's man-to-man and banging the receivers. Then he takes one look at it. What's Scott's block? That's the one that sprung him, but that was a good catch of the football.
He looked it all the way in, as they say you should do. And Dallas has a first down at the 41-yard line. The end of the first quarter finds the score Dallas 7 and Oakland 7.
When there's nothing but mud where the road used to be, and you feel like your car is working overtime, it's nice to have this gas-saving Toyota pulling for you. Introducing the 1981 front-wheel drive Toyota Corolla Tercel. The Toyota Tercel, a car that pulls its own weight. And a little bit more.
Tercel!
Excuse me. I'm not the same crazy coach who used to storm around the sidelines yelling at the officials. I've learned to relax, and I drink light beer from Miller. Do you know that light's got 1/3 less calories than a regular beer? And listen to this. Light doesn't fill me up. Besides that, light tastes fantastic. Oh, sure, there are a lot of other beers around, and you can drink any one you want. But let me tell you this. For
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
As I was saying, I don't care what anybody else...
STP, a big name in racing for nearly 20 years. STP oil treatment on the track in some of the world's most expensive engines. Around the track, around the world, every day, tens of thousands of people get STP oil treatment. Get it for your car. Satisfaction guaranteed. Around the track, around the world, STP oil treatment is #1.
And about 285. Watch number 72 now. Put the pressure on Cooper, the tackle, and end up gets Billy Joe Dupree in it too. Almost a head slap. He takes Billy Joe, throws him behind the formation, then continues looking for somebody else to hit. Cooper stays with him pretty good though. Good footwork.
Cooper did a good job. Billy Joe Dupree got his number. 1st and 10 from the 41. First play of the second quarter as Ron Springs is in the backfield with Dorsett now. Danny White, the quarterback, will throw on first. As Jay Southey for another Dallas first down inside Oakland territory to the 46. Bob Nelson made the tackle. Dallas offense looks sharp.
The continuing story of Matuzak against Cooper. Cooper's given away about 30 pounds. Oh, that is some kind of a forearm shiver from underneath. And bangs him on the top of the head, but the job was done by the offensive lineman. And, of course, the better they do their job, the more they have to play football. It's not like defense, you know.
Across the bay in San Francisco, the New Orleans Saints winless all year long. 14-0 over San Francisco. Dick Stanfield's second game. That's Dorsett behind Scott. And a couple as Scott got out in good shape. The Raiders played it well, led by Ted Hendricks.
Scott ran right over Mike Davis. The safety man came up. Scott ran over him and didn't break stride, but pretty well played by the defense. There's Dante Pastorini, the former Houston quarterback. Was all right here until he broke his leg early in the year.
We were talking with the Oakland people yesterday, and I was asking if they had any plans to activate Dante, and they said nope. Not unless something happens to Plunkett. He got us there, and we're going to stick with him. Tony Dorsett has just set an NFL rushing record with 1,000 yards in his first 4 seasons. Never been done before. Springs bangs for a first down. Burgess Owens makes the tackle. Springs down near the Oakland 35.
Watch Rafferty come across from right guard and trap the nose man. Let's see what happens on it. At 64, watch the right part of your screen. Scott goes over and takes the nose man. He takes the linebacker and buries him. And Springs is one of the great straight-ahead runners. He really hits with a shock.
That's when he is so effective.
He's been very quiet this year, too.
When he gets headed up the field, he can get some things done. He's back there still with Dorsett now as Newhouse gets a rest. Dorsett goes behind Springs, deep in the eye as Drew Pearson comes in motion. White looking for Tony Hill. Has Tony Hill. looking right back into that bright sunshine. I don't think Hill picked it up.
And you talk about tight man-to-man. Lester Hayes is running stride for stride with Hill. Most people think you got to double Tony Hill and take your chance with Drew Pearson, but they're playing solo man-to-man tough coverage.
Lester Hayes, Lester the molester, as they call him here, has had a spectacular year.
He's had 3 interceptions, including a touchdown, called back, and he still has 11 legally.
And called back not because of something he did. There was a violation elsewhere.
Lester the molester?
That's creative. 2nd and 10 at the 35. White again looking in the direction of Tony Hill and severely overthrown as he was covered by Dwayne Osteen. Here's Hill.
Tony Hill now playing against that coverage. They'll get it right on you. That's Dwayne Osteen.
Familiar territory here in Oakland, this area, to Tony Hill. To Pat Donovan.
Barnes.
Stanford.
Benny Barnes.
Benny Barnes. So it'll be 3rd and 10 from the 35.
They're all up on the line of scrimmage again.
Billy Joe Dupree and Drew Pearson out wide to the right. Butch Johnson, Hill to the left, and Preston Pearson back with Danny White in the shotgun. Hill has it deflected by Osteen, who made a perfect defensive play.
Osteen has just beaten Monty Jackson out. Jackson, of course, came here from the Rams in a very expensive acquisition. And this kid Osteen just flat has beaten him out. Watch the coverage on this. And as I told you, back there's nobody but you and the receiver. That's good coverage.
Raphael Septien has made an appearance on the field along with his holder on the right side of your picture, Charlie Waters.
You know, he's attempted the fewest field goals in the entire National Football League.
Hasn't really had to, as they scored 52 touchdowns now. This one is going to be from 53 yards out. Perhaps a little bit of a helping wind, more cross than behind.
He's 0 for 4 from this distance.
That one might be good. It is. Septien from 53 yards out.
The young man that was born in Mexico City, and his dad was a very top soccer player himself. It was low, but it was right on, wasn't it? A knockdown shot.
The Raiders put very little rush on, and he had time to do it.
TCR Crossfire Racing, only possible on the wide open track. For the first time, 2 loops connected by 4 lanes of no man's land called Crossfire Alley. To win this race, you must stay on the suicide loop and risk a head-on collision with a jam car. So every lap becomes a countdown of nerves, speed, and lane-changing skill. And only TCR's got it. TCR Crossfire Racing, wide open racing from Ideal.
Need your help. Is it me or my 1981 Toyota Corolla? Watch. See what I mean? I know Corolla looks like a million, got plenty of style, not to mention a peppy 1.8-liter engine. But I ask you, is it me or my Toyota Corolla?
Give me a ride to the library?
Tell me, was it me or my Toyota Corolla?
Oh, what a feeling! Your Corolla!
Toyota!
Septien's field goal, they say now, is 52 yards, which is the longest he has ever kicked.
He had 2 51-yarders.
Keith Moody for Oakland. Swings to the outside with some blockers in front. And a lot of blockers. Fumble. And Dallas may have it back. The Cowboys have the football. They lead 10-7. Recovery by Doug Cosby.
And what a great run back by Moody. Here's the kick. I tell you, Septien is getting pretty good distance. Let's see where this one comes down. Well, this isn't too good. This is about the 13-yard line. Now the wedge forms. Well, they're in pretty good shape here.
Look at the blockers in front of him when he gets up close to midfield.
Septien is getting ready to make the tackle. He was withdrawing just temporarily.
But Dallas winds up with the football. They'll have it 1st and 10.
Sony introduces the art of watching television. Sony Betamax lets you record and see what you want when you want, to summon into your home a world of wonder. And a remarkable feature called Beta Scan lets you scan forward and reverse to quickly find any single image. Betamax transforms the act of watching television into the art of watching television.
Your show is about to begin.
Sony, the one and only.
Come, experience what lies beyond the sports car. American Motors introduces Eagle SX4. The new four-wheel drive sport machine. Eagle SX4 outcorners Trans Am in soft sand. Out-accelerates Mustang Turbo in loose dirt. Outbreaks MGB on dry pavement. Plus, the four-wheel drive Eagle SX4 beats them all in gas mileage. Experience driving in the fourth dimension with American Motors.
Wednesday, when Blue Flu strikes the department, Enos becomes a one-man police force.
Promise me it ain't something crazy. Keep up to that.
Enos, Wednesday night.
Keith Moody with the football. Guy Brown is number 59 approaching.
This was Moody's longest return of the year, but this one ends up with a fumble. Boy, they had good blocking out in front. Guy Brown made him cough it up.
And Doug Cosby made the recovery. 1st and 10, Dallas. Their own 46. They lead 10-7. Dorsett with the football. Out near the 50. Dave Browning is the Raider who made the initial contact, number 73. The Lions, 23. The Cardinals, 17.
There's the old bomber pilot from World War II. The head coach for 21 seasons. He's now the winningest of all active coaches in the National Football League.
Behind Hallis and Wambo. 2nd and 6 at the 50. The fake. Danny White keeps the football, throws to Dupree. Wide open is Billy Joe Dupree. Inside the 20. Inside the 15-yard line is Dupree. Good fake by Danny White.
Good play selection. Danny Reeves is up in the booth, and they must have picked this up. Watch the good fakes. The fake here, they're pulling people the other way. Springs went back the other way. Now Dupree just comes through the cleared out area. Tony Hill's going straight up, and BJ begins to turn it upfield.
Watch the block by Drew Pearson right there.
That's number 26 for Billy Joe.
1st down, Dallas, just outside the 10, between the 10 and the 11. They can make a 1st down without scoring. 11:29 left, 2nd quarter. The Cowboys lead the Raiders 10-7. Kenny Newsom in the backfield with Dorsett down. Dorsett runs into Rafferty, and now runs inside the 10 and goes out of bounds about the 7. Dwayne Osteen.
Did you realize he still had time to recover and made yardage on a play that looked like it was doomed? Looks to me like Dorsett is beginning to get the ribs together now and wants to make some tracks. Rafferty pulls, the big Penn Stater. They call him rough. He bangs into Dorsett. Usually this puts a ball carrier in real jeopardy, but he still had time to pick up a couple.
Play game 4, so it'll be 2nd and 6.
This year he's cut the fumble down, too. He's only lost 6 fumbles all season.
That's James Jones now, who has replaced Dorsett. He and Newsom, the back. Newsom down to about the 2. Newsom, the biggest of the Cowboy backs, goes almost 230. Matuzak made the tackle.
They ran right at Matuzak, and tell you, Newsom made a real good little move at the line of scrimmage and went outside on it.
3-yard line.
Watch the adjustment that the fullback has to make on this. He starts to go inside, picks up a good block by Rafferty, who's sealing off things, and gets it down deep inside.
3rd down and 2. A little confusion now as the Dallas substitution schedule gets a little rattled, and Danny White calls a timeout.
I was talking to Wilford Whizzer White, Danny's father, last night for a little bit of the time, and I said, do you ever give Danny any advice? And he said, I don't want to foul him up.
Quite a football player himself. Dallas on the move again, and the Cowboys lead the Oakland Raiders 10-7. Only the 2nd regular season meeting ever between these two.
Well, looks like you lead a comfortable life.
I do okay.
Now, let me tell you something. You do better in comfortable clothes. Like Hager Magic Stretch.
Hey, a stretch waistband.
Special stretch woven fabric, too.
Nice.
And Hager has lots of great looks that won't squeeze your wallet. In Hager Magic Stretch, you'll feel as good as you look.
What could be better?
You couldn't ask for more than Hager, especially for the holidays.
Mustang. The sky's the limit for 1981. Now Mustang's available with a rakish new T-roof. Mustang, born to run with the wind, sure-footed to handle quick turns. Mustang, a world of high gas mileage you might not expect from such a high-spirited car.
Mustang!
Capture a Mustang, America's most popular sports car. From the world of better ideas at Ford.
The Chicago Bears, accused of having a dull offense, got it shined today, 55-7, and it's not over yet, over Green Bay. The most points they've scored since 65.
They beat San Francisco, didn't they, that time?
Walter Payton passed Larry Zonka to go into 6th place on the all-time rushing list in the NFL. Handoff, touchdown, Ron Springs. Behind the block by Saldi. Dallas moves out in front now, 16-7. Atlanta has already beaten Philadelphia, so the Cowboys could move into a first-place tie.
Oakland has 19 yards rushing. They just haven't had a chance to have the football. Dallas gets the ball and keeps it. Straight ahead, Springs goes. Good-looking blocking. They cut everybody down. They got those big fellas cut down. And, boy, they're tough to rush against. Incredible. Dallas now has over 90 yards rushing and 83 passing. They're moving the football.
Waters holding and pointing. Septien will kick. Out of those hands. Good. Hits the upright. Not good. And that breaks his streak.
At 52 in a row, huh?
This year he had 77, I think. 78 after he made that first one today. And that breaks his string. That was the longest one active in the NFL.
He hit it dead center.
The upright. And so it's Dallas 16, Oakland 7.
When I was coaching, I was the boss. I used to feed them, dress them, get them to bed on time. Now I treat them to our favorite beer, right?
Light beer from Miller.
Light's got a third less calories than the regular beer. And what else?
It's less filling, Red.
And they really like the taste. Another beer, anyone?
Yeah.
What's the magic word? Please.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
We're gonna keep moving on today.
We can't afford to hesitate. Come on along, participate. Conserving energy every day. Alcoa and aluminum know the way. We can't wait.
We're doing it now.
We can't wait.
We'll show you how.
Alcoa can't wait.
We can't wait for tomorrow.
Next Saturday, you might see 1984's Olympians as CBS Sports brings you the World Junior Figure Skating Championships and the Great American Truck Race, all part of a Super Sports Saturday next week on CBS.
That scoring drive by Dallas, 5 plays, the big one, pass to Dupre, the touchdown by Springs, and now the kickoff to Ira Matthews by Septien. Matthews has some room, stays on his feet. Out to the 30-yard line where Oakland will take over.
Dallas has had the ball for 12 minutes and 45 seconds. Oakland, 6.5 minutes. See that possession? See, you can't score without it. It just seems like Plunkett's offense, except for the one drive that they took in, they hadn't had the ball very much.
That was the opening time. And Plunkett hit Raymond Chester with a touchdown pass. You look over at the Cowboy bench, and what a clear blue day it is in California. On the cool side, but delightful. The Giants 6, Seattle nothing up in Seattle. Phil Simms not playing. Scott Brunner's their quarterback today. Kenny King and Mark Van Egan in the backfield. Plunkett fakes, looks, throws. Short gain to
Van
Mark
Egan, I
Van
believe.
Egan, and stopped by Brunig. I had to look for the number.
Big pressure by Dallas that time. Randy White and company arrived just as Plunkett was tiptoeing trying to get the ball out of there. I really look for a lot of pressure from the pass rush as Dallas begins to get the line of scrimmage under control. But by the way, the Oakland offensive line averages about 270 pounds across.
That is a pretty good average right there. Number 78 is John Dutton. That average is about 270. Complete to Bob Chambers. Benny Barnes out there on the coverage. But a first down Oakland. Good throw from Plunkett.
Boy, he had to throw it right through the hands. Watch the pressure. The left part of your screen. Watch D.D. Lewis will fire. And Too Tall jumps up too. And Plunkett stayed right in there and gunned it. And Chandler is a very cute receiver. Here's the flex defense. Dede faked and then went on the late blitz. Watch Lewis almost get the ball.
That trade for Chandler is another one that the Raiders are very satisfied with. Got in from Buffalo for Phil Comipiano. Even up. Plunkett. Ball deflected and tended over the middle for Raymond Chester. Bob Brunig deflected it.
Good play by Brunig. Let's see it. He's right in the middle now. He's got to read pass. Now he's got to get out of there and look for the short zone. Dutton is putting a pretty good pass rush on. He was cut down by Mickey Marvin and still got close.
They're doubling on Randy White with Dalby and Upshaw.
You've got to double him or your quarterback won't come out of the huddle.
Plunkett in somewhat of a slump in recent weeks. Sends Chester in motion to the left. Plunkett under pressure again. Still finds Chambers, who shakes one tackler and stays on his feet as knocked out. Bounds inside the 40 to 38. Plunkett hung in there.
And I mean to tell you, the pocket is being squeezed right around the young man from Stanford. Watch this pressure now. White to the top. That's Dutton to the bottom. Ed Jones is in there. They all arrive, and Plunkett stayed right in and even got to see the completion. Chandler is a lot like Jimmy Orr or Raymond Berry. And I'm only saying that because he's worked on individual moves, and he's a very clever, well-conditioned athlete. He almost gets out of the jam.
Why would you ever be willing to trade him? Chandler's fit wide to the right. Branch out to the left. Plunkett is on the delay. Here's Kenny King. King still fighting.
On a bad wheel.
John Dutton finally put the clamp down.
What a runner he is. You know, he played fullback at Oklahoma when Sims and company were there, so he was always diving into the line, sometimes getting the ball, sometimes not, but they tested him out. They said this is one of the great outside runners in the league.
The Cardinals 24, the Lions 23. Very important game to Detroit. Not over yet. Raiders on the move now against this Dallas defense that's played well the last 2 or 3 weeks. 35-yard line, 2nd and 6. 16-7 Dallas leads. Ira Matthews in the backfield with Van Egan. This is Matthews. Ira struggling and fighting and close to a first down. Let's now go to Brent Musburger in the NFL Today.
Pat, this may be the biggest play of the year in the NFC Central. Tom Skladany of Detroit with the punt. The Lions ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals. Green fields it, starts right down the middle, and an alley opens, and suddenly he's gone. A 57-yard punt return for a touchdown. They kick the extra point. They lead the Lions 24-23. Minnesota has already won. Quickly back to Pat Summerall.
3rd and 1 here in Oakland.
2 tight ends in there, Pat.
Bob Brunig just ripped off the field to Dallas. Kenny King breaks into the Dallas secondary. Dennis Thurman, the only man with a chance, and Thurman made the tackle.
King comes in with over 700 yards. Again, he got the bad foot sprain, didn't work out much of the week, but he can really trip it. Watch the footwork. You talk about fast feet. Van Egan gets a good block on the outside. Look at the move by King. He uses Mickey Marvin's block. Bad foot and all, he is really some good-looking ball carrier.
I watched him in practice yesterday, and if I were a betting man, I would have bet you anything that he wouldn't be able to play. First down Oakland, just outside the 10.
He's got the juices running now.
They can make the first without making the touch. Plunkett looking and throwing. Bob Chambers not able to stay in bounds. Benny Barnes slipped down. If Chandler had been able to stay inbounds, he could have walked in.
Ed Jones just buried Plunkett. In fact, when Plunkett was under him, you couldn't even see Plunkett's jersey. Watch number 72. He comes up the middle on a stunt. And I mean, just completely broke him down legally. How would you like to have that come down on top of it?
The story of Jim Plunkett is one, of course, throughout his career at college and the pros, and maturing, one of great courage. It always has been.
Boy, he hangs tough. And, you know, a lot of people said he'd gotten shy and everything else, but he's staying closer to his blockers today, and they're having a heck of a time keeping the Cowboys off him anyway.
The Giants 13, Seattle nothing.
Remember, down here once in a while, he'll bring in Derek Ramsey, who used to be the big quarterback at Kentucky. He becomes the second tight end, and he's a heck of a pass receiver. They like to sneak him out.
They think he's the tight end of the future here in Oakland, or if they decide to go to a double tight end offense, he's certainly the answer to that. And that's one of the reasons they were willing to let go of Dave Casper.
You know, I've never seen anybody stand in the face of a rush and complete the passes that he's doing today.
Next Saturday, we'll be in our nation's capital for the Giants against the Redskins. The Redskins had a big day today against San Diego, and the Giants are beating Seattle 13-0.
Hope they don't waste it all. It'd be nice to have a real good contest, huh?
That game, which of course is one of the oldest rivalries in the NFL, is always interesting, no matter what the record. Timeouts remaining, Oakland all 3. Dallas just used another one as they had some confusion on defense. Cowboys lead the Raiders 16-7 in only the second meeting ever in regular season between these two. Saints and the 49ers. New Orleans still haven't won a game all year, but now they're on the track. They lead the 49ers 21-7.
It's only been one penalty called in the game, and that was Randy White's head slap in that first drive.
Second and what looks to be about 4.
Dallas is thinking pass. They just brought Dickerson back in there to get some kind of a short yardage with a little bit of a nickel field behind it.
The open runners are Kenny King and Mark Van Egan. Plunkett looks, throws high to Chester, can't hang on. He was open. Let's now go to Brent Musburger and the NFL today.
All right, Pat, here's what you mentioned with regard to the New York Giants. Scott Bruner filling in for the injured Phil Simms hit on this 49-yard scoring pass to Ernest Gray. You'll see the Giants and the Redskins next Saturday. It's 13-0 Giants. Back to Pat Summerall.
Back in Oakland, just down the West Coast. Dallas 16. Oakland 7.
That ball was right on the numbers. I've never seen Chester drop many, but that one was right there.
It's almost like he didn't pick it up, didn't it?
He was open, too.
Wide open. Dede Lewis is back covering the tight end. But Raymond Chester had 2 or 3 steps. Ira Matthews in the backfield now. With Plunkett throwing high, looking for Ramsey. Looking for Van Egan, I beg your pardon.
Great coverage by Aaron Mitchell. Aaron Mitchell even had the presence of mind to turn around and play the ball in the end zone. Again, now it looks like a power sweep coming against short yardage. So you come up to face the block, and he turns into receiver. Look at this play by Mitchell.
So now we have Chris Barr on the scene of the kicking playing of Bars. B-A-H-R. With Bob Chandler holding.
He's 10 of 14 up to the 39. He's got pretty good feel for it right where it is now.
He had a tough time last week, as we mentioned before. And they had all kinds of people showing up this week. Field goal is good to audition for the kicking job. In fact, Barr said to me yesterday at practice, "What are you doing here? Did you come for a tryout?"
Well, you know what they say. Everybody wants to be a kicker until Sunday.
Very true.
The 1981 Honda Prelude is a pleasure to look at in many different ways. You can look at it as a sporty car with front-wheel drive and sleek, racy looks. You can look at it as a comfortable car with a luxurious interior and power steering that comes with the optional automatic. You can look at it as an economy car. After all, it is a Honda. But then again, you can look at it like this.
Honda, we make it simple. Wait till you see how good you can be with the Nota XG1.
see some terrific pictures.
Depend on the automatic Minolta XG1 to give you clear, sharp pictures. It does the work. You take the credit.
Yeah,
Hey, do you want to see some terrific pictures? No.
Yeah, look.
That's lovely. Isn't that good?
For a limited time, get an XG1 and get a $25 rebate from Minolta. See your dealer now for details.
Thursday, December 11th, the special 2-hour premiere of Magnum P.I. Even with Hawaii as a playground, Magnum's idea of fun is danger. A special 2-hour premiere, December 11th.
Had the track meet at Soldier Field in Chicago. The Bears leading the Packers now 61-7. Vince Evans, a great day. Steve Wilson on the return. Wilson looking for room to the outside and got some. Steve Wilson out of bounds outside the 40.
That's Martini, I think, chasing him, or is that Derek Ramsey? Is
Derek Ramsey.
Boy, Wilson's been, the young cornerback's had sort of a bad foot. Looked like he got it going pretty good shape that time.
Good to see his father and have a chance to visit with touchdown Tommy Wilson last night. 34-yard return.
Here it is. He takes it up the left side, decides to bend it back. This young man is really a good football player. From offensive flanker and run back to a cornerback this year, and he played extremely well. Just a good effort right here.
So it's 16-10 with 6:17 left in the first half in Oakland. First and 10 at the 42. Dorsett and Springs. Dupree in motion. White drops and throws. Springs open. Ron Springs gets about 8. Bob Nelson, the tackler. Danny White on target today.
And really beginning to set his feet down and throw the solid, smooth throw. He does not have the strong gun that number 12 had, but some people think he's going to be maybe as good a quarterback because of his intelligence about the game and the way he handles the other people he works with.
He is closing in on a bevy of Cowboy records now for the season. 2nd and 2 at the 49. Double tight end set up for Dallas. Drew Pearson in motion. White gives to Dorsett, and Dorsett has some room. Dorsett will have the first down. It looked like he might break for a minute. Mike Davis, though, made sure that he didn't go further.
Rafferty would really be mad, though. Rafferty had the block set up for him, and Tony just cut to the outside, and the man recovered and made the tackle. I think he just said something to the guy they call Ruff, number 64. Watch him go on through the hole, takes Tony through cleanly, and now he has it set up. If Dorsett had cut back inside, he might have gone.
Word on Bob Brunig is that he has a bruised knee, but probably will be back to play some more. First down, Dallas at the Oakland 47. Cowboys lead 16-10. Less than 5 left in the first half. White trying to get away, fumbles. I'm not sure if they call it a fumble. Yes, they do.
Watch Martin now. Rod Martin, number 53. He comes in. Scott spins out. Watch him make Scott miss him. The linebacker takes the inside move. Scott misses him. Danny White now has the problem.
Scott has the football.
Yep.
I could hit the helmet.
That Martin made some move to get around Scott. He doesn't miss many people cleanly like that. It's a juggling act by White.
So it'll make it 2nd and 19. Back in the Dallas territory now at the 44. The 3 wide receivers set up again. Butch Johnson to the left. Drew Pearson and Tony Hill to the right. The handoff is to Dorsett. Nothing doing for Tony this time. And White will stay in a punt. I beg your pardon, it's just 3rd down now.
Remember that this Oakland defense is 35% on 3rd down conversions against them. With this much yardage, it'd be a good time to make sure the play is probably anticipating the punt. That might not be a bad way to think about this one.
In Dallas, the 2nd best team in the entire league in 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, they're right at 50% all the time.
But not in this situation. 3rd and 21. Back at their own 42.
A 4-man rush coming.
They maneuver into the shotgun, and it might be more than a 4-man rush. Cowboys do manage to pick it up. Dupree down deep. Almost made a catch. Lester Hayes is saying it was offensive interference, and Dupree almost came up with it.
Boy, Lester Hayes can really play the corner, the young Texas Aggie. He's one of the best-looking man-to-man defenders that I've seen all year. Maybe in a long, long time. Good throw by Danny White. Tremendous protection by the line. Dupree goes for the ball. They made some minor banging up there, but I think that's part of football.
So White will stay in the punt, and Ira Matthews, a speedy one, number 43, back deep for the Raiders at his own 15. White, a high kick that will be fielded by Matthews. It is. Chased by Anthony Dickerson and out of bounds on the far side of the field. Benny Barnes, the first man down there.
Matthews is only about 5'8", but he's from the legs, from the waist down, he's about 6'2". He's got very long legs, and he's strong, and he's really one of the good run back people. They drafted him out of Wisconsin. He can play.
Raiders have 3 timeouts left in the first half. 3 minutes, 14 seconds left to play in this first half. The regional games next Sunday. The Saints against the Jets. Cardinals, Eagles. Cardinals beat the Eagles earlier in the year, you might recall. The 49ers, Falcons. Falcons now enjoying a 2-game lead over Los Angeles, and the Buccaneers and the Lions. Cowboys will be in Los Angeles next Monday night. First and 10. Oakland will play in Denver. Plunkett struggles out of the trouble and ducks under the surge, led by Mike Hegman out to the 30-yard line.
You talk about trouble, Patrick. Too Tall, Jones and company all went hunting. Watch this. That's Randy White to the right, makes a spin, does not get away from Upshaw. Look on the right side. And Plunkett keeps it together and comes upfield and takes what he can get and then gets down.
Is it your impression that Too Tall Jones gets a little bit stronger every week?
He claims that the boxing education didn't help his jaw any, but really got him in shape.
Second and 4. The draw play, a little bit shy of a first by Kenny King. Martin, the first Dallas Cowboy on the scene.
Big Henry Lawrence was slow getting up, the offensive right tackle, who is one of the best drive blocking tackles in all of football, number 70.
This information on the sideline doesn't mean a heck of a lot to a lot of people, but it does to those concerned.
Oh, Earl Liggins, isn't it?
Yeah.
Used to be the Chicago Bear, and I mean a big bear.
The Saints 28-7 now over the 49ers. 2 minutes left to play in the first half. It's Dallas 16, Oakland 10.
Hi, I'm Drew Pearson of the Dallas Cowboys. Being a high school athlete was a great experience, but even way back then, it was tough being a teenager. I had to make some pretty big decisions, selecting a college, planning my career, and even making a choice about drinking. Today, alcohol abuse is a real problem among young people. That's why it's so important for parents to help their teenagers with straight talk about alcohol. Like pro athletes, teenagers need good coaching, especially with big decisions. Having the right information when you need it about drinking or not drinking can mean the difference between being a winner and not making the grade. This free booklet, Straight Talk About Alcohol, can help you guide your son or daughter to make the right decisions. For your free copy, write Education Commission of the States, Box 687, Denver, Colorado, 80201. Send for it today and help your teenager be a winner for life.
The preceding announcement was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. These folks here would not like the idea of the Raiders leaving to go elsewhere.
This is only the second sellout this season, right?
Right.
This is a short yardage situation, so you got the 2 big tight ends in there.
Derek Ramsey and Raymond Chester. That is a very true banner you just saw. The Oakland Raiders are the only team to ever put together 16 consecutive winning seasons. Plunkett looks outside to Ramsey and has him. And that'll be enough for a Raider first down.
And Harvey Martin was really whistling in from the right defensive end spot. I don't know how Plunkett got it off.
That's the final score. The Cardinals beat the Lions 24-23. So Detroit now drops to 7-7. Minnesota improves their record to 8-6, and so the Vikings move into first place in the NFC Central. Quiet team that nobody thought would do anything, but somehow Bud Grant gets it done in Minnesota. Plunkett under pressure again, being chased, and throws deflected by Dennis Thurman.
The under safety man, again, they were in the what looked like was a nickel defense. Plunkett is scrambling extremely well, but notice the dirt and the grass stains on his back. When your quarterback's got that in the first half, he is having to work hard at it. The rush is coming, but he's handling it. He moves out now, but he's not doing it in panic. It's a pretty good throw. And Thurman makes a good play.
D.D. Lewis again on a blitz. It was intended for Chandler. Giants in Seattle now 13-7, second quarter. Giants leading.
Now you got the right formation. You got Branch in the slot and Chandler on this side.
And Morris Bradshaw out to the left. Plunkett. This time the protection was better. Plunkett again eludes him. Randy Hughes. Intended for Cliff Branch, and Randy Hughes, who came...
It's going to be interference call. The flag was dropped. The flag was dropped over near Steve Wilson, who was playing, but Hughes actually bumped into the receiver. Here it is, a big rush again. Man, there's some bodies being thrown around the line of scrimmage. Harvey Martin had the last shot, and Ed Too Tall Jones cut off that. Right before the picture picked it up is when Hughes bumped into the receiver. That's Bradshaw over there?
That was Branch that time. But Bradshaw was in along with Bob Chandler. Bears and the Packers 61-7, and that's the final score.
Bears must like Thanksgiving Day celebrations.
Must be thinking about that point differential again. Got them into the playoffs last year. So the Bears remain alive. Their record is 6-8. Green Bay 5-8-1. Long trip back north. Plunkett out of bounds. Intended for Branch.
Branch trying to run the straight. Good coverage and double coverage. You just can't let Cliff Branch run around by himself. As we said, in high school, he ran a 9.300. Went to Colorado and was one of the great returners, I guess, in the history of college football. He had an 80-some-odd yarder against the Eagles, and nobody even saw him. Went into a shadow and came out the other end with 80-some-odd yards.
By the way, with these playoff possibilities, and there are so many, with the fact that the Cardinals beat Detroit today, that assures Dallas of at least a wild card spot in the playoffs. Second and 10 at the 45 for Oakland. Plunkett drops again. Penalty marker down. High pass. Thurman almost had it again.
It might have been called for offensive holding, but I'll tell you that on the line of scrimmage, the pass blocking that time was tremendous. Because Dallas is really twisting and steaming, and Startner's got him hot to get to the quarterback. And Plunkett's getting pretty good protection. Let's see where the call is.
Jerry Markbright, the referee. Line of scrimmage, the 45.
Realize
mark it off.
When Dutton and Too Tall and Randy White are in there.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 65, offense, a blow to the head, second down.
That's Mickey Marvin, number 65, the offensive right guard, facing John Dutton.
Actually, they have 3 number 1s and a number 3 draft choice on the line of scrimmage when you have Harvey Martin, Randy White, Dutton, and, of course, Ed Too Tall Jones. That's quality.
So it'll be second and 25. The Raiders back in their own territory now at the 40. Dallas up 16-10. Penalty marker down. Straight ahead goes Kenny King.
I'd like to see him when he is really 100% healthy. He looks to me like a coming young back in this league. Branch gave the head linesman back his flag.
Kenny King had some pretty good running back teammates back in his days at Oklahoma. At the half, Brent Musburger talks to Two of the most successful head coaches, certainly of this year, and in Landry's case many years. Sam Rutigliano of the Cleveland Browns. Penalty against Dallas. They were offside.
Offside, number 79, defense, second down.
You know, Gene Upshaw, number 63, is playing his 200th consecutive football game, starting at left guard. That is some kind of a record as far as I'm concerned.
That's in regular season. If you count the preseason games that he started, it would be 290. Dallas showing blitz, and then they back off. Plunkett fires complete to Branch. Back to the 40-yard line in Dallas territory, Anthony Dickerson, the Cowboy tackler.
Great pass protection. Watch the offensive line for Oakland really go out and take the Dallas players on the line of scrimmage. They're going to keep the pocket. It's man-to-man blocking. Even the twist and the stunt by Harvey Martin didn't fool Upshaw on them. They stayed right with it. Watch 63 now. Harvey's coming to the inside. Upshaw says, okay, Shell's got Randy White. I'll wait for number 79. Here he is. Good blocking on the line of scrimmage.
It'll be third down for Oakland and 5 at the Dallas 40. The Cowboys leading 16-10. Oakland's timeout. Chris Barr over on the sideline. As someone said in the paper here Saturday, kickers are like your car. Until they break down, you don't miss them.
We're talking about injuries and all. At this time of the season, usually teams are bunged up, you know. But the Cowboys, for some reason, their off-season training schedule with Ward in there working on the weights and the stuff, they are really amazingly free of injury at this time.
And, of course, the 10-day layoff after the Thanksgiving Day game doesn't hurt that situation at all.
Gets the legs back, you know.
3rd and 5. Dallas blitz is picked up well. And Plunkett throws well to Raymond Chester. First down, stopped by Randy Hughes, but Oakland moves it.
Safety blitz came, and you're right. They just went up there, Van Egan did, and stopped it.
Quick count. Plunkett just trying to stop the clock. Crowd thought that pass interference perhaps should have been called on Aaron Mitchell, as Branch was the Oakland receiver closest to it.
Looked like Mitchell might have made some contact, which is what he tries to do. He's supposed to do that within the 5-yard limit, but Mitchell looks around like, I didn't do anything wrong.
And the officials agreed with him. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 31.
Watch Chandler down close.
20 seconds to go in the first half. Oakland still has 2 timeouts remaining. Plunkett brings them out. And he drops. Plunkett stays on his feet and finally goes down. Looked like he disappeared one time and then all of a sudden appeared again. Anthony Dickerson, the blitzer, and Oakland will use another timeout. They still have 1 left.
Randy White came under the pile. Harvey Martin came over the top, and Dickerson added in. Watch this. A great play by Plunkett. In fact, Harvey Martin can't believe that Plunkett's still standing. Looks like Custer up in the Black Hills.
Remind you of Roman Gabriel a little bit. Remember how hard he was to get down back there? It was like a tree trunk.
He used to take a tremendous beating, though. They'll finally get to you. Much better to load it up and fire it somewhere and live to play again.
A delightful, cool afternoon in Oakland at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Sellout crowd, as Tom Brookshire mentioned before, only the second one they've had this year. I'm talking to Al Davis before the game about what is the situation as far as their desired move to Los Angeles. He said rather not discuss it at the moment. Just like to keep our football team's mind on football. They've done such a good job. We'd like for them not to be distracted.
We were talking today. They've had 3 coaches of the year here. Al Davis himself, John Madden, of course, and Johnny Roush, who took them to that first Super Bowl, Super Bowl number 2. Quite a tradition, huh?
In some organization. 3rd and 17. Plunkett with time. Looking deep. Knocked away at the last minute. Again, Dennis Thurman. 8 seconds left on the scoreboard clock. One more timeout for Oakland with that pass incomplete. Of course, that stops the clock.
Thurman's not fast enough or big enough to play in this league. That's the reason he hustles so much, and he's one of the best young defensive secondary guys playing right now. Bradshaw brings in a little help. Plunkett does call most of his own plays, but Tom Flores, the former quarterback you mentioned, is right in the helmet with Plunkett. They must talk about it a lot during the week.
4th and 17. They obviously feel they're out of range for Barr. Go for a little bit closer. Plunkett again. Penalty marker down. Plunkett throws low on the hop. Intended for Branch.
I think it's on Dallas. The Oakland players, including Plunkett, are pointing down toward the other end of the field. You notice what Plunkett is doing, though? He is not taking the real deep drop. He's staying and letting his blockers work for him.
Preliminary indication is defensive holding, and that might get him in range for Barr.
Is 4 for 15, over 40 yards.
And now they say personal foul.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 54, defense, a head slap, first down.
That is twice that Randy White has been called for head slapping.
I think he and that's Double D. Dalby's the big offensive center who stays right in there. Dalby did not retaliate, which is a sign of a cool veteran, huh?
And now Dallas will use their last timeout. Brunig calls it. Give Barr a little time to think about what it is he has to do. His field goal will be from about 40 yards out.
He's 4 for 15. This is just about the limit of his range, I would imagine. And yet he kicks off pretty well. He gets the ball to the end zone rather well.
That is twice in this first half that Randy White has been called for an illegal head slap.
Well, Pat, the rules for the offensive linemen that they can now stick both fists and extend them all the way out, they really can lay a battering on you over the period of a half or so when you're throwing the ball a lot the way Plunkett is doing today. And I would imagine there's a lot of frustration, especially with a guy like Randy White.
And of course, he faces those double teams almost every week. Next Saturday at 12 noon Eastern Time, it'll be the Giants and the Redskins.
Young Scott Brunner against Joe Theismann, who looked like he was operating pretty well today.
San Diego would testify to that as the Redskins just overwhelmed the Chargers. One of the big surprises of the year. Bob Chandler will hold in for Chris Barr. And this will be from 41 yards out. Dallas leading 16-13. Distance, no good. Wide to the right. Last play of the first half. It is Dallas 16, Oakland 10. Here at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum with the Cowboys leading the Oakland Raiders 16-10.
Each quarterback has only been sacked once. I think the offensive lines really have been doing a tremendous job protecting their valuable commodity back there in the pocket.
While we got just a second, we'd like to welcome, I guess it's not a stranger, certainly not the CBS broadcast, but the man who'll be joining the NBA broadcast team, Rick Barry. And it's good to say and good to say have you back.
Where'd you come in from? Alaska? This is...
Well, it's a little chilly here. You fellas, you must be drinking something to keep warm or something. I don't know.
Well, I try. Gosh knows I try.
Well, I just hope the NBA is as exciting as the NFL has been this year. And you fellas have done a fine job covering it. I'm looking forward to the second half. The Raiders got to get back into it.
Okay, Rick. Take care now, will you?
Good to see you. Ira Matthews comes rolling out for the kickoff as the Raiders behind by 6. Stopped by Anthony Dickerson. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. Halftime statistics would indicate the score should be close.
Plunkett's 10 of 20. Danny White is 6 of 13. Dorsett had 73 yards rushing in the first half. And you know that missed extra point by Septian still hangs there, doesn't it? 2 field goals or a touchdown, and that margin would look rather strange. That 16-10 is not a very safe margin. Dallas has got to get it humming.
The 2 fullback operation now for Oakland with Derek Jensen and Mark Van Egan behind Jim Plunkett. Nothing doing as Randy White stops Mark Van Egan after perhaps a yard. Nothing more than that, certainly.
Again, that is a tremendously large offensive line. And I don't think, from what I'm seeing today, that Shell and Upshaw are anywhere near going over the other side of the great beyond. That's been a very solid blocking unit.
Shell and Upshaw, the offensive left guard, left tackle. Upshaw in his 200th consecutive start for the Oakland Raiders. Shadows about halfway across the field now as Van Egan is again wrapped up by Randy White.
Randy White, who had 2 head slap calls in the first half. That time he really took Upshaw on and just shoved him out of the way. And I don't think any defensive lineman from the inside can dominate a football game or turn it around any better than number 54.
It'll be 3rd and 7 as Anthony Dickerson, Steve Wilson, and Randy Hughes check into the Dallas defense. Ira Matthews and Mark Van Egan will be the running backs or pass receivers, as the case might be for the Oakland Raiders. No penalty markers. Good protection for Plunkett, as now he struggles out, and now he's hit from behind by Harvey Martin. Fumbles, and Dallas has the football. Ed Jones.
And Harvey Martin just kept coming. Plunkett that time drifted out of the pocket. But you said the good blocking was there, Pat, and it was early. There's a twist up front. They're stunning. That's Larry Cole to the left. Randy White's down. Now Ed jumps up in front, and Harvey has him from behind. The ball comes out.
And Ed Jones makes the recovery. And Dallas has it 1st and 10 at the Oakland 20. They lead 16-10. Opening seconds of quarter number 3. Dorsett and Springs will be the running backs. Not sure what happened to Newhouse, but he hasn't been back since early in the game. Springs runs into Danny White. Rod Martin makes the tackle. Bob Nelson helped.
Maybe Newhouse will be back. That time Springs just probably ran the wrong route. Like he hasn't had a chance to play a lot over an extended period of time since actually early in the year when he was the starter. But he is good straight ahead quickly.
Philly Joe Dupree goes out for Dallas, and Jay Saldy comes in. Maybe a yard, perhaps a half a yard by Springs on that carry, making it 2nd and 9. Dorsett. No place to go. He dives for about 3 before the rookie Matt Millen makes the tackle.
Rod Martin, number 53, played the outside and sort of stopped the play at the point of attack, so it never got a chance to explode. I was talking to Butch Johnson before the game, and he was one of those that had the virus. He's coming in with the play now, but I tell you, he just looked awful. He said he never felt so bad. You know, when you get the flu, you almost would rather die, you know, if you feel so awful.
Timmy Newsom comes in, along with Butch Johnson. Dorsett goes out. Preston Pearson is back now with White in the shotgun. They look like they're perhaps not quite sure what's going on. White has it batted away, and we'll see Septien. Willie Jones, who comes in on passing situations, the second-year man from Florida State, knocked it down.
Oh, he came in a hurry. That time the left side or the right side of the offensive line just couldn't handle it. Matusik ends up taking 2 people on. Cooper had 1 man, and nobody was there to take care of Willie Jones. He is active, isn't he?
Very quick. Waters at the 24, so we'll make it a 34-yard field goal by Raphael Septien. He hit one earlier from 52 yards out. He hits down and makes it Dallas 19, Oakland 10. 2 fumble recoveries by the Cowboys have helped set up 2 scoring drives. So with 11 minutes, 55 seconds left in quarter number 3 in Oakland, Dallas 19, Oakland 10.
I looked at Datsun 280ZX and Porsche 924 because I wanted a refined sports car. Then I looked at and drove this new Mazda RX-7, and that's all it took.
Just one look. That's all it took. Yeah, just one look.
The Mazda RX-7 keeps getting better. Even the mileage is 24% better than last year. And the more I looked, the more I liked the looks of its price.
The more you look, the more you like.
Introducing the revolutionary twin action shaving system engineered to outperform twin blades. The new Norelco Rotatract Razor. Inside 3 floating heads, Rotatract works like twin blades to grip hair. Raise it up, then razor it off, hundreds of times a second for a shave that's twin blade close without a nick or cut. The new twin action Norelco Rotatract Razor. Cord and rechargeable. Twin blade closeness, but no gotcha.
Wednesday, when Blue Flu strikes the department, Enos becomes a one-man police force.
Promise me it ain't something crazy. Keep up to that.
Enos, Wednesday night.
After the field goal by Septien, Dallas now leads 19-10 over Oakland. Ira Matthews takes the short kickoff and really takes it. Matthews can go. Inside the Dallas 40.
Dennis Thurman in on the tackle, maybe?
Septien getting up very slowly as he got under the pile.
You got to be careful of 43. Ira can really motor. He's never in too big a hurry, but he is a fearless return person. There's a flag on the field. Thurman makes a good play.
Matthews almost broke it, but again, a penalty marker down. And it's against Oakland as the referee, Jerry Markbright, marks it off.
Personal foul, clipping number 90 on the run back. First down.
Number 90 is Willie Jones. It'll be first down Oakland at their own 29. Nullifying to a great degree that return by Matthews.
Let's see if Plunkett decides to run the ball a little bit, see if he can get a little momentum without throwing it on every play.
Branch comes out wide to the left, and Bob Chambers wide right. First and 10 Oakland at their own 29. Plunkett gives to Kenny King. King nudged out of bounds by Aaron Mitchell.
Again, the Raiders feel they must get outside some so that Plunkett can throw the ball later. You just start teeing it up and going back, dropping 8 or 9 yards back every play against the Cowboys, you'll end up having the fumble like just happened.
The last field goal by Raphael Septien, by the way, was 34 yards. He had hit one from 52 yards, his longest of his career in the first half. It'll be second and 7 for Oakland.
You're thinking pass now.
Operating from their own 31 with just over 11 and a half minutes left in the third quarter. Plunkett with good protection this time. Here comes Harvey Martin. Pass deflected. Dallas had about 3 chances to intercept it. Penalty markers down everywhere.
Aaron Mitchell grabbed Cliff Branch and spun him around, and flags came out of all parts of the stadium. To the right of your screen now, you won't see it. Pretty good blocking. Ball was underthrown that time behind Ira Matthews. They caught Aaron Mitchell this time with his hand in the cookie jar.
They'll give Oakland a first down.
Holding number 34, defense, first down.
Defensive backs never admit anything.
Kansas City just about to put Denver out of the playoff picture. They lead 28-7 in the third quarter.
And Denver waits for Oakland in Denver next Sunday, doesn't it?
Where the Raiders always seem to have a very difficult time. First down 10 at the 37 for Oakland. It is Ira Matthews. He operates to about the 40. Almost popped something as Bob Brunig made the tackle. The last time these two teams played was 1974. The only time, in fact. The last game of one George Blanda, who threw a touchdown pass in that game.
Gosh, he played forever.
Second and 7 at the 40. Plunkett again in a passing situation and operating out of the coolness of the Oakland Coliseum. Plunkett throws. Pass knocked down by Benny Barnes, intended for Ray Chester.
And that sun was coming right into Chester's eyes, but Benny Barnes made a daring move and a good play. Here's the quick drop by Plunkett. Boy, he's really kept that under control today. Good pass blocking. They were cutting people down on the line. That's just a good defensive play. Pat, a lot of people, at least the ones that saw the game when Washington played Dallas, thought they had good luck lining up with a tight end on the outside of Harvey Martin and running the left side, running at Randy White and Harvey Martin.
They went with double tight ends, in fact, and ran that way. Dallas still won the game, however. Plunkett, pressured, throws. Pass is caught by Matthews. A diving catch by Ira Matthews. Charlie Waters on the tackle. But Oakland moves into Dallas territory.
I told you, from the waist down, he's about a 210-pounder. Ira Matthews, as Randy White stunning, gets away from Upshaw, chases Plunkett, who makes a good throw under a lot of pressure. That's some catch. A young guy from Wisconsin can play football.
Whittington and King, there's some doubt about whether either one of them would be able to play, and Matthews stays in the game now. Matthews has replaced them, and now the lone setback is Mark Van Egan. Plunkett 11 of 22. Number 23 coming. Branch going deep.
He can pump it up and still throw it a long way, and on a good level flight. Plunkett still has the big arm.
Kenny King, who was hurt and listed as very doubtful, has nevertheless made a contribution today.
Boy, Flores needs him, though. The outside speed.
Van Egan comes out. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 40. Derek Jensen is the Oakland fullback now.
That was Ira Matthews' first catch of the year. Seems to be getting better all the time, doesn't he, as he gets his sea legs.
He's in the backfield now with Derek Jensen. Matthews will be the ball carrier. Perhaps a couple. D.D. Lewis, one of the Dallas tacklers, along with Larry Cole.
But they need Kenny King. They need King in there. Matthews at 170 or so pounds is just not a big enough back to really break it in there. He looks like he's in a Little League uniform when he steps in that huddle.
Doesn't he? New Orleans Saints on their way to their first victory at Candlestick Park over in San Francisco, 35-14, 3rd and 8 here.
This is their favorite passing formation.
Dallas faking blitz, and it's not a fake. Plunkett just fires high in the air. There, Mitchell, well, what a play he made. Intended for Morris, Bradshaw, and Mitchell. As it should be done.
You know what he told me before the game? He said, I wish Kenny King was playing because I want to play against the best. I want to beat them if they're the best. Here comes the safety blitz out of this. They pick up Thurman. The ball is thrown. And watch Aaron Mitchell reach around and just slap it away.
Well, when you said pick it up, Ira Matthews picked Dennis Thurman all the way off the ground. There's the play by Mitchell.
And remember, he's already been flagged for holding, and he's fearless. He comes back and gives it another shot.
Ray Guy with his second punt of the day, and James Jones standing back at the 10-yard line for Dallas. Guy will try to hang this one high.
He's also a good passer.
He is their third quarterback. Does he ever root that one?
That's into the bay.
That's into the stands.
And I don't see the touchback. I think he caught the side of that, the angle. See where they're going to mark it.
Mark Bright says the 20. They did call touchback. Ray Guy missed, but he really put a foot into that one. So Dallas will take over at their own 20 with 9:04 left, third quarter.
Welcome to Club Atari. What's your pleasure? Breakout? Ah, here's something new. Circus Atari.
Cartridges, video chess, football. Cartridge, sir? Fez is here.
We meet again, Fez.
Yes, a little game of Space Invaders, perhaps. What shall we play for?
For fun, of course.
No other company offers you as many different video game cartridges as Atari.
This man leads the good life. He puts on his bow tie, he puts on his tuxedo, and then he puts on his Accord LX, a most luxurious Honda, with features like variable assist power steering, digital clock, and air conditioning as standard, with plush seats and deep pile carpeting. So, for people who lead the good life, the car that leads the simple life.
Honda, we make it simple.
Alameda County Coliseum. It's the Dallas Cowboys 19-10 over the Raiders. Dallas with the football at their own 20 with just over 9 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Dorsett, and now Newhouse is back as his running mate. That's Dorsett. Dorsett first page, perhaps 5 yards. Some Super Sports Saturday coming up next week here on CBS. The Giants, the Redskins at RFK Stadium in Washington. The Mixed Team Golf Classic. Some of the best in both the male and female categories. The World Junior Figure Skating Championship and the Great American Strut Race. That's all next Saturday. That's Super Sports Saturday on CBS. James Jones and Timmy Newsom. That is Newsom. First down, Dallas.
Good looking run, too. He cut it back inside. Let the blocking pattern form for him before he turned it on. And he is a big one. He's 225. Look at this move right here. Picked up the good block by Fitzgerald. Everybody says they just finesse you, but I see a lot of people getting knocked down by the offensive line.
Burgess Owens finally made the tackle. Newsom, 6'1", 227, they say, from Winston-Salem State.
Boy, can this secondary play defense. This open secondary is amazing.
Close to being the very best. Ron Springs, I believe that's Timmy Newsom again. Couple of yards.
The Eagles did not get a ball to Harold Carmichael till late in the third period when they played Oakland. They just put 2 guys on him and banged him every time he came off the line. And if you will notice, Drew Pearson and Tony Hill have been shut out so far. They have not had a ball.
It'll be 2nd and 9 from the 33 for Dallas. Annie White, the quarterback, and Dorsett, the lone setback at the moment. Double tight end set up as Salvi is on the left and Dupree is on the right. Dorsett shakes a couple, gets to the 40. Dwayne Osteen finally took him down.
There are just not many backs that make any yardage out of that play. That was well played by the big right linebacker over there, number 53.
Rod Martin.
Rod Martin. And only maybe a Dorsett or Kenny King when he is running well. Dorsett doesn't have to overdo to get speed. He seems to just sort of put it into a different gear and accelerate it.
3rd and 2. 6:20 left third quarter as Tony Hill comes right. Drew Pearson out wide to the left. White drops. Billy Joe Dupree again is wide open. And B.J. has another first down for Dallas. Burgess Owens on the tackle. But they're in Oakland territory at the 42.
Scott is having trouble getting up, number 68. Had 2 tight ends in there that time. Salty to the right. B.J. was to the left, number 89. He was really wide open. Ran about an 18-yard square out to the left, which will be to your right. Matusik puts on some heat. This ball's right on. Danny White's throwing against the best intercepting secondary in football, and so far he's been very careful with it, hasn't he?
And hasn't had one picked off after having 12 in the last 4 games. First down, Dallas at the Oakland 42. The fake is to Dorsett. The throw is to Newhouse, who can't find a handle.
Looked like a bear down at the stream fishing for German brown trout or something. He just batted that one away. That thing was laid right in there, though, wasn't it? That's a good-looking series. They've run that play sort of twice today. This time they just broke the fullback out. Look at Newhouse.
Oakland bench, the veteran Gene Upshaw, starting his 200th game, or has already done that, accomplished that. 200 games in a row he has started today.
He received the Byron Whizzer White Award this past season, too, for the guy that most epitomizes what a professional football player should be in the community and all, you know.
He's done some job. Dallas going with the 3 wide receivers, but giving to Dorsett, and Dorsett inside the 35. Bob Nelson, the tackler, helped by Reggie Kinlaw.
I saw the other day where Gale Sayers was a little critical of Dorsett, just by saying that he thinks once he gets hit hard, the next time he shies away a little bit. And that's really the one thing, even when he had the cracked ribs coming back with the flak jacket and all, I've never seen him really get away from any kind of action. Used to fumble a little bit.
All he's asked for is to be able to carry the ball at least 20 times a game. And when he does that, Dallas usually wins. 3rd and 3 at the 35. White with protection. Intended for Saldi. No penalty marker is down. Saldi is really complaining.
Good play by Matt Millen, though, the big rookie from Penn State. Saldi's going to plead a case. It's going to be on very deaf ears. That Millen is something at 258 pounds playing linebacker. And, you know, he's the one that's relaying the defensive calls into the huddle. That's how much they trust the young man.
There was a debate momentarily on the Dallas bench about what it is we might do here, and now they have decided they're going for it instead of trying a field goal. They lead 19-10. Rather difficult to understand at the moment, but I'm sure Tom Landry has his reasons. Danny White. Saldi. Overthrown. Matt Millen back there with him, and Oakland will take over.
At the 35, if they'd punted the ball into the end zone, it would have come out to the 20, so you're gambling on that 15 yards. You're gambling that your defense can hold, too.
And based on recent week performance, that gamble would seem pretty safe. 19-10.
Christmas card was sent to you by the people at Miller High Life. Merry Christmas.
Next week, a Super Sports Saturday, the Giants battle the Redskins, followed by the Mixed Team Golf Classic and the Sports Spectacular with figure skating and the Great American Truck Race next Saturday on CBS Sports.
49ers making somewhat of a comeback behind Joe Montana. 35-21 now at Candlestick Park. Oakland football first down as Plunkett drops again. And fired. Wide open is Branch, and the ball went right through his hand.
That time I think he heard Aaron Mitchell's footsteps. He was looking around to see where the very combative person is. Pretty good pass rush. They pick up Harvey Martin with a double. First shell and then upshot to the left. Take on number 79. This ball's thrown right on. He might have been hearing the sounds.
That is a ball that should have been caught.
Here's Harvey getting away from Shell, then runs into Upshaw. That's a tough block and bunch up front.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from Oakland at their own 35. Plunkett's day. Under heavy pressure all day. The handoff is to Kenny King. King is tripped up by Benny Barnes.
What a tackle. I'll tell you, every time King touches the ball and it's the right call, as an old defensive player, I almost jump out on the field because he looked like he's getting ready to break one.
Keep in mind, he's got a bad wheel, too.
Imagine all the running backs at Oklahoma. This guy was a fullback. They didn't give him the ball much. But you know he can block if he played fullback at Oklahoma. Just because Sims gets the ball more than he does doesn't mean he can't run.
There was Sims and many others. Here's Plunkett dropping. Protection holds up nicely this time. Plunkett looking for somebody and finally throws over the head.
Tell you, Jimmy Plunkett can take that offensive line out for a steak dinner. They held him out that time. He had 9 seconds to reload it.
It'll be 4th down and another look at one of the premier punters of all time.
Did you ever see Sammy Baugh's average, though? 51-something he did 2 years in a row. Sammy could really play, couldn't he?
He could do other things beside kick, I guess.
He could throw it a little bit, play defensive half.
Ray Guy back deep. James Jones standing back at the 20 for Dallas. And Guy. High kick. Jones waiting. Hit immediately and taken down by Morris Bradshaw. So Dallas will take over with 3:20 left in the 3rd quarter, and the Cowboys leading the Raiders 19-10.
Every year, millions of drivers suffer the agony of hillophobia. The fear of stopping on hills with a stick shift, with cars behind you, very close behind you. The only known cure, the ingenious hill holder clutch from Subaru. Now you don't have to go downhill until you want to. Subaru, inexpensive, and built to stay that way.
Mom, we got a present for you.
When you get home. Let's go.
You can install the Stanley do-it-yourself garage door opener in about 4 hours. Everything comes in the box. Just assemble it, put it up, and plug it in.
Surprise.
The Stanley do-it-yourself garage door opener.
Push it.
It's a very nice thing to do for somebody else.
He did it so fast.
We want to help you do things right.
This Christmas, open the door for someone you love. Give a Stanley garage door opener.
Tuesday, Michael Learned and John Houseman star in the television premiere of A Christmas Without Snow, a heartwarming story destined to become a family holiday classic. Tuesday night.
Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at the sold-out Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, where the Cowboys lead the Oakland Raiders 19-10. Dorsett and Newhouse will be the runners behind Danny White, and that's Newhouse. Raiders have it. Oakland has the football.
And Newhouse is probably the most dependable running back that Dallas has ever had for not fumbling the ball. But there's been a lot of action there. Dwayne Austin came up with it, the safety man. Some big turnover, and you can't play with a fused bomb. Oakland can score very quickly. He just flat knocked it right out of there. Mike Davis, the young safety man, just stuck it to him.
So the Raiders will take over 1st and 10 at the Dallas 16. Newhouse had not fumbled in 84 consecutive carries. Ira Matthews and Mark Van Egan. And this is Matthews inside the 15 to about the 12.
The little booger put his head down and got some yardage, too. He didn't quit when the big fellas threw the arms on him.
Brunig for Dallas, the tackler.
Big play, though, to get 5 yards out of the carry by the person that was in there maybe to catch the ball. Advantage Oakland.
Kenny King replaces Matthews. 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 as Charlie Waters looks into the Dallas secondary and calls the signals. Plunkett does the same on the other side. Plunkett might take off and does take off. Plunkett from behind, smothered by Ed Too Tall Jones.
Plunkett is doing a great job of, he's moving a little bit in the pocket and keeping it moving and then just putting it away at the right time. He has done a tremendous job against a big rush by Dallas on all sides. Harvey Martin had him by the foot, starts to load it up and throw it, and now he runs with it. And watch number 72. Lights out.
Ed Jones from behind. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Just outside the 10.
Look out for Raymond Chester. The tight end lines up on the left side.
And the 2 wide receivers go to the right. Branch and Chandler. 3rd and 5. As Plunkett dropped. Chester going across midfield. He is smothered by John Dutton. Now let's go to Brent Musburger and the NFL Today.
Pat, here's the play that puts Seattle ahead of the Giants. Jim Jodat just breaks the plane. And for the first time, the Seahawks lead the Giants after the extra point, and maybe Seattle will finally win a game at home. Now let's send you back to Pat Summerall.
Big play by Dutton.
Dallas 19, Oakland 10. Big play by John Dutton, and Chris Barr will come on now. The 3rd sack of Plunkett. Bob Chandler will hold Barr from 38 yards out.
Chandler has to actually tilt that ball after he gets it down.
High enough and far enough and good enough. 19-13. And that extra point that Dallas missed continues to loom very large. Barr back on track after an off week last week and under a lot of pressure here in Oakland all this week.
It was Mercedes-Benz that produced the world's first production diesel car. The first 5-cylinder diesel car. This 200-mile-per-hour diesel car. The first turbocharged diesel car. And the world's only 3,000-mile-per-gallon diesel vehicle. For 1981, only Mercedes-Benz can apply all that expertise to these diesel cars. Mercedes-Benz, the pioneer in diesels for 45 years.
Hatfield's gas pipes were leaking half our gas, but the town couldn't afford a contractor to fix them.
See if you can break it down.
So when Bill Sanders of Phillips showed us gas pipe made of their plastic and how to install it ourselves, we were in hog heaven. With some willing hands and some expert advice from Phillips, now Hatfield, Arkansas is really cooking. And that new pipe paid for itself in a year.
Phillips Petroleum. Good things for cars and the people who drive them.
Barr will kick off. James Jones back deep for Dallas with Steve Wilson and Timmy Newsom.
I tell you, Oakland's hot right now. They've got it up.
Good kick by Barr. Long time up in the air. Jones out to the 25. Stopped by Willie Jones.
This defensive series will really tell you if Oakland is ready to get it going in the 4th period. They're going to pound on some people now and see if they can make it happen with the turnovers again. That's how Dallas did such a good job in getting the scoreboard to start with. I think Oakland thinks they're not only back in the game, I think they can win it.
Well, of course, they're very much aware of the fact that San Diego has been overwhelmed already by Washington. Dallas knows that the Eagles have lost. They're also aware of the fact that the Rams have lost. Timmy Newsom with Dorsett. And this is Tony. Nothing doing. Wow. Matt Millen and Bob Nelson deep in the Dallas backfield immediately.
And Matt Millen's having words with L.J. Dupre, and I'll tell you, Millen will not even move from anybody. They said he doesn't even have a locker here yet. The old guys are still treating him like one of the rookies of perhaps 20 years ago. Some play by Ian Nelson.
All he has is a rusty nail.
They said he just hangs his clothes up in next to a cardboard box.
Even the Seagulls have moved into the stadium here in Oakland now. It'll be 2nd and 14. And Oakland, as you said, starting to pick up the steam a little bit. Double tight ends for Dallas. Saudi on the left and Dupre on the right. One setback. Danny White's going to throw, looking to set up the screen, and does in the middle to Dorsett. Dorsett shy of a first down, but outside the 30 to about the 31, perhaps a little breathing room.
Good recovery by the Raiders defense. Watch this, because it's the center screen. They all get back into it.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score Dallas 19, Oakland 13. We now pause for a word from your local station. 3rd
Thursday, December 11th, the special 2-hour premiere of Magnum P.I. Even with Hawaii as a playground, Magnum's idea of fun is danger. A special 2-hour premiere, December 11th.
This is CBS.
Channel 4 News at 5. A bright, fresh look at the day's news with Dick Johnson and Marlene McClinton. Two experienced reporters who team up with weatherman Gary Basner and sports reporter Knox Nunley for the latest breaking news, weather, and sports stories every weekday afternoon at 5. Marlene McClinton and Dick Johnson. Channel 4's first look at the news of the day, along with timely tips designed to help you. Channel 4 News at 5 with Dick Johnson and Marlene McClinton. Don't miss them.
It takes a special talent to put something all together and get it just right. And that's what Old Milwaukee did. We got the taste of light beer right. We gave Old Milwaukee Light the real beer taste you've been missing in other lights and kept it less filling. So now you can have your light beer and taste it too.
Stop the disease nobody knows.
One more quarter to go in Oakland. It is Dallas 19, Oakland 13. A very cool day now as the sun is starting to disappear.
And Tony Hill and Drew Pearson still do not have a catch, the outside receivers.
They both come wide to the left now on third down for Dallas and 4 at their own 31. Danny White drops back into shotgun. Preston Pearson comes out of the backfield. White on the shovel pass. Preston picks it off in midair, and he is near a first down.
It bounced off Scott, the guard who was pulling in front of him on the shuttle. The last time I remember seeing that, I think Roger hit Pearson against the Rams in a playoff game with that for a touchdown.
And Houston did it this year. From a fake field goal formation, that shovel pass like that. Pearson got the rebound and got near a first down.
He's a basketball player from Illinois. I guess getting the rebound isn't unusual at that.
And now they're going to move the sticks, and he did get a first down.
A deflected pass completed. First down.
It didn't hit Scott then until it hit Pearson, right?
Must not have. Or else he got a hand on it before it hit Scott. Billy Joe Dupree to the left. Double tight ends again for Dallas. That's Dorsett. And that's not much. It's Dwayne Osteen and several others. Rod Martin among those make the tackle.
It's just about even on the number of offensive plays run, too, by each team. At first, remember, it was very much one-sided on time of possession early in that game, but now it's beginning to even out. And if Dallas doesn't get a long drive going and get some points, this game's not only going to get close, but out of hand.
Kansas City in the fourth quarter with 28 points in the second quarter still leads Denver 28-14. That could be lights out for Denver. Possibilities are pretty dim anyway. Here's White. And there's your wide receiver, Drew Pearson, with his first catch, stopped by Lester Hayes. Not a first down.
Drew just came inside and hooked and died there. That was his 35th catch of the year. But he even paid for that. Let's see how the blocking looked. Linebackers were coming. Picked up well by Rafferty on the right. I tell you, that Oakland secondary, it's mayhem.
Third and short. Perhaps a little bit less than a yard at the 45-yard line. Three tight ends. Cosby joins the other two. Here comes Saldi in motion. Lines up on the left side. Comes back into block on a play they've used quite often. They may not have it. That's Ron Springs straight ahead. That's going to be close as Matuzak.
His helmet made it, but the ball may not have made it.
They're going to measure, and it's going to be close.
It makes me wonder why on the fourth down and 3 or 4 that Tom Landry and company went for that play and didn't try a field goal from about 52 by Septien earlier. Gonna go for it now.
I don't think so. They send Danny White back deep. Fourth and short. They lead by 6, 19-13, with 13 minutes, 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Dallas has about a 3-minute edge in time of possession. That was some defensive series for Oakland.
Ira Matthews back deep for Oakland. Danny White will punt for Dallas. Good, strong kick by White. Bouncing, and down at the 2-yard line by Benny Barnes.
And Oakland tried to block it, and 2 players almost got the ball. It was the best kick Danny's probably had all year.
A 54-yard punt by Danny White, and Oakland will have it 1st and 10 at their own 2 as Benny Barnes streaks down to down it. 19-13 Dallas.
This ranch doesn't run without horses, and the horses don't run without you. But when you've hammered out a day's work, you meet up with Miller Time.
When it's time to relax.
Time for the best tasting beer you can find.
One beer stands squeeze.
Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
The 1981 Honda Prelude is a pleasure to look at in many different ways. You can look at it as a sporty car with front-wheel drive and sleek, racy looks. You can look at it as a comfortable car with a luxurious interior and power steering that comes with the optional automatic. You can look at it as an economy car. After all, it is a Honda. But then again, you can look at it like this.
Honda, we make it simple.
The skill positions, here's how it paid off. Lester Hayes almost blocked that. Watch Benny Barnes run around the blocker, Ira Matthews, and there's the ball. That's some play.
2 fullbacks now for Oakland. Van Egan gets the carry and is smothered after about a yard. He is in there with Derek Jensen. The speed men for Oakland, both hurting, with the exception of Ira Matthews. Kenny King and Arthur Whittington both with bad ankles and bad knees.
Just keep one thing in mind, though. This team can throw the ball. They can go 90 yards in very short time. And the one thing that Dallas has given up is big plays this year.
2nd and 9 for Oakland. Their own 3. They trail by 6. Van Egan again. Hit by Benny Barnes first. But a little bit more breathing room as Van Egan, the durable, tough fullback. Dutton with the help. It was Tony Dorsett getting a little work with his name.
He's got 91 yards going. They're going to have to sew him back together there. Just the shirt.
3rd down and 4 at about the 8.
All of our shirts used to be stitched, didn't they?
Blowout patches in most of them. Here's Kenny King, tripped up by Charlie Waters. Mike Hegman helped out.
It's a good thing.
Oakland will have to kick.
Good thing they got the foot. He was coming through a hole, and it looks like it's going to open up. He is a scary runner. Watch 41 come into your picture, and they just get enough to get King down.
So Oakland's Ray Guy will drop back into his own end zone. Too Tall Jones comes off limping just a little bit. James Jones back deep for Dallas, standing at the 45, and he's going to have to back up a little bit if Ray Guy catches it. He didn't really. He will field at the 50, and Jones gets to about the 44, where Dallas will take over. 41-yard kick by Ray Guy. Monty Soletto, the first man down for Oakland, and Dallas takes over with 10:27 left on the game clock, leading by 6.
You're looking at a revolutionary GTE Sylvania street light bulb that uses 10% less energy than the bulb it replaces. But the truly amazing part is, it gives more light, an almost unbelievable 80% more light. Imagine, using 10% less energy and getting 80% more light.
G.
No, GTE.
I'm Joe Duncan, State Farm agent, Cincinnati, Ohio, speaking for thousands of State Farm agents around the country. You know, there are a lot of reasons why people come to State Farm agents and stick with State Farm agents year after year. I think one of the big reasons is service. State Farm built its reputation on service. People expect it, they are paying for it, and we deliver.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Seagulls have moved in, so they get a better view of this sellout crowd and the contest between Dallas and Oakland. 10:27 left to play. The Cowboys up 19-13. Jones and Newsom, the running back. Pearson goes in motion. On first down, Danny White will throw. If he has time, and he does. And Drew Pearson stands. Alone with the football inside the 30 at the 28. Bob Nelson and Lester Hayes made the tackle.
The three-man rush was completely handled on the line of scrimmage, stacked up, and Danny White had all day, and that's just about how long it took to decide. Here's Gil Brandt, sidelines. He's in charge of player personnel. Watch this. Now he moves over and he spots Drew sitting there. Everybody else has gone deep. Drew thinks he should step out of bounds. Now he decides to turn it upfield. And watch how these fellas tackle.
Sort of twisted him backwards. Tom Landry checking out things with his staff upstairs. Ermal Allen, Danny Reeves and his group. Danny White rolling. Ducked under one. Can't duck under Dave Browning, who comes over to knock him down from behind.
Matusik made a great play in containing him from the outside. On that 34 that way, he actually lines up right on the tackle's nose, and 72 got out there. Didn't quite make the tackle, but along came Browning. Talk about the automatic rifle. Danny gets away from Matusik. There's Browning. They are physical.
Loss of 2, make it 2nd and 12 at the 30. Preston Pearson in the game. Butch Johnson also. Johnson comes over to the left. As White goes back in the shotgun. Bob Shaw to center. Hendricks on the blitz. The throw is out to Preston. Right there is Willie Jones. Nothing doing. How about a loss of 3 more? Back out to the 35.
That Oakland defense is digging in, and your man from Florida there can put a pass rush on. He's quick. He went out and covered in the flat and made a great tackle. From the shotgun, on second and a bunch, this is thrown quickly. Tell you that Brownie makes some moves.
Willie Jones takes Preston Pearson out of bounds, and it'll be 3rd and 17 back at the 35, and they might just be out of Septien's range again. If they don't get some this time, shotgun formation. Danny White surveying the Oakland defense.
They are up there on the line, except for one safety.
Cedric Hardman with a big rush. Pass thrown downfield, intended for Jay Saldi, who again fell down. And again looks for some kind of an interference call that's not coming. Mike Davis back there with him.
Mike Davis played it perfectly. Actually, Saldi sort of ran into him. Here's the blocking up front. You can see that it's adequate. Ball's thrown, and Saldi goes down again. At Oakland secondary, they can cover you.
And they elect not to try with Septien again. This would be from the same place he hit one as they'd chosen to try a field goal from 52 yards out. Danny White is back in punt formation. Angling high and for the sideline again, and Benny Barnes is down there again. And again, Dallas will down inside the 5. At about the 3-yard line, Oakland will take over.
That's 14 up now inside the 20, and that's a real nail.
They say touch it at the 6.
Introducing the new World Car, Ford Escort, with better ideas from around the world at your fingertips. Road-hugging 4-wheel independent suspension, front-wheel drive, precise rack and pinion steering, stabilizer bar for tight turns, new power-efficient engine for easy freeway cruising, and higher gas mileage ratings than Rabbit, Accord, Corolla hatchback. Ford Escort, built in America to take on the world.
You still catch tuna the old way with strong pulls and strong arms.
Let's take them home!
But now comes Miller time.
When it's time to relax.
Time for the best tasting beer you can find.
One beer stands clear.
America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
If you got the time, we've got the beer, Miller beer.
8:34 left to play in Oakland. 31-14, Kansas City over Denver.
Plunkett is 11 of 26 for 116 yards. And he's been sacked 3 times.
Plunkett looking and throwing. He has Cliff Branch. And the Raiders have some room. Dennis Thurman makes the tackle.
It's a good thing Thurman was there because Benny Barnes had already made contact and was falling off. And Branch can really break it open very quickly. The quick post maneuver. He'll come from the left side of your screen. Plunkett standing in the end zone. A little bit of a rush from the offside. Ball's right in between. And if Thurman wasn't there, he would have gone.
Bob Chandler comes to the bottom of your picture. The right side of Plunkett. With Branch out to the left. Plunkett will throw again. And goes out to Derek Jensen. Mike Hegman out there with a good open field tackle on Jensen.
Just keep in mind that the extra point that hit the crossbar makes it a 19-13 game. That's 6 points. Obviously, Derek was not the intended receiver of this play. Good coverage by the Dallas secondary.
It'll be 2nd and 7 from the 31. Ira Matthews goes in with Derek Jensen. Jensen comes out. I beg your pardon. It's Van Egan back there with Matthews. Clock running, just over 7 minutes left to play. Plunkett with time. Now fires. Incomplete. Aaron Mitchell hit the intended receiver, Cliff Branch, and knocked it loose.
And Branch had the ball and was just getting ready to put it away. And Mitchell just blew it out of there. Plunkett had a lot of time to throw this time. The offensive line's doing a pretty good job. This ball is just getting ready to be put away, and here comes Mitchell.
Raymond Chester comes out. Branch and Chandler both split wide to the right. Derek Ramsey is the tight end to the left side. 3rd down and 7, and Dallas puts on the heat. Plunkett looks at Ramsey, can't find him. Under heavy pressure, Randy Hughes back with Ramsey. Here's the Dallas rush.
And that time Plunkett did not get his feet set. They send everybody. They got 2 safety men coming. Barnes came from one side, Thurman from the other. That time Jimmy Plunkett just didn't get his feet settled. He just overthrew the receiver.
So Ray Guy counting how many people he has in the huddle with him. His season average 43.6. His game average a little less than that. The Raiders, of course, aware of the fact that San Diego has already lost, and they, at the moment at least, own first place in the AFC West. If they lose to Dallas, they'll be in a first-place tie. And Dallas will be in the first-place tie. And Guy puts it on this one. Otis McKinney, when the Raiders got from the Giants, the first man down, a 54-yard kick by Ray Guy.
How important is the kicking game and the coverage and all? Well, you're seeing a great example of it this afternoon. There's McKinney. Those Colorado guys can really tackle, can't they?
All of them I know can. Ernie Sutner.
Here's another Radio Shack Christmas gift idea. Soft, cuddly animals with a surprise inside. A radio. What a delightful gift. There's a raccoon, comic cat, brown spaniel, Pekingese, cuddly cat, and country mouse. It's a musical menagerie for kids and teens alike. The gift-priced, petable, portable radios. Only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
I'm not very good at this, but here.
It's the thrill that you feel when your dreams become real. It's the look in her eyes when she's caught by surprise. Like the moment you met that you'll never forget.
Christmas is over.
When you give diamonds, you get so much in return.
Oh, honey.
Make the magic last forever.
Tom Landry. Upstairs to Dallas are Dan Reeves and Ermal Allen. Jerry Tubbs.
Dallas has got to get first down yardage, Pat. They got to stop going third and long.
6:45 left. Dorsett has got nothing this time. Rod Martin made the immediate tackle. Let's go to Brent Musburger now. NFL Today.
At 14-13, Seattle with the lead, and the New York Giants with the ball at midfield. Scott Bruner, the rookie from Delaware, pulls out. Here goes Ernest Gray. The defensive back is turned around, and the Giants have slipped back into the lead. 20-14. Let's send you back to Pat Summerall.
In the meantime, down in Oakland, it's Dallas 19. Oakland 13, but Oakland surging at the moment. 2nd and 14 at the 12.
And they're looking for a turnover. The Raiders are on defense.
Salvi in motion. Rod Martin again, the tackle. Matt Millen helped out. Dallas trying to find some rooms. Dorsett couldn't find any. And now Oakland comes in with Cedric Hardman, Campbell, and their prevent type defense.
3rd and long again. 3rd and long.
Dallas sends in their passing group. Pearson, Preston, Butch Johnson, along with the regular one. Drew Pearson and Billy Joe Dupree to the left. And they go shotgun. Dangerous time now. You're thinking about what happens to Dallas. Up the middle to Butch Johnson, and Butch has a Dallas first down, a fumble. Oakland may have it. The football is loose. Whoa. Rod Martin is really upset. It's a Dallas first down.
Butch Johnson must have hit the ground and caused the fumble. So that ball came out. And it looked to me like Black and Silver was on top of it. Here it is from the shotgun. For a fellow that has the flu, Butch runs a good route. Just did get it. I think it came out when he hit the ground. I believe when he hit right on the line when the ball came out.
If you hit the ground as a result of contact, the ground cannot cause the fumble. Handoff, nothing doing as Newsom is overwhelmed as soon as he takes the handoff by Dave Browning.
Let's see what happened. Donovan against Browning. Let's see to the right part of your screen. He took the inside and got away with it, and Donovan just didn't cut him off. They're gambling now, but they have to.
Watch how quickly number 73 appears.
You take the inside. It's sometimes like fooling with the bull. You'll get the horn, but right now you're in a desperate situation.
At the 26, 2nd and 14, the pitch is back to Dorsett. And there's no place for number 33 to go as Ted Hendricks. And that Oakland defense is really swarming now.
Notice how they keep Hendricks out of any replays and all. Everybody plans for their offense to do something away from 83. He's got tremendous reaction, tremendous size, and he knows how to play football.
Not only knows, he does. Great year he's had. He won the Goldman Award, by the way, this year, which is presented by the Raiders to the player that best exemplifies the pride and spirit of the Raiders, and it's voted by your teammates. That's the most authentic vote. Shotgun time, and look out, here comes Hendricks again. Pearson, taken down by Rod Martin. Hendricks forced White to really get rid of it in a hurry.
Southern California. That's some tackle. It looked to me like Pearson had a yard or so to go right around him on the outside. How did the linebacker make the tackle?
Like he might have fallen on a camera on the far side of the field. There comes Hendricks.
Looks like he's going to be able to get to the sidelines. That is just a great open field tackle by a linebacker.
And Danny White. There's Rod Martin coming off now. Who just made that open field tackle. In a textbook style, here's Danny White standing back now at his own 15-yard line.
Both benches, by the way, the players are all on the sidelines. No one is sitting on a bench on either side.
Some discussion now about perhaps another football. Danny White standing back, will punt from about his own 15. Landry, Tom Landry, Mike Ditka, both involved in some discussion.
Clock is running.
Ira Matthews standing back at his own 30-yard line. Clock running at 2:15 left for the throw. Danny White, another good kick. Matthews signals fair catch at the 24-yard line. And that's where the Raiders will take over.
Now in 11 seconds, Jim Plunkett and the offense will get a 2-minute warning timeout.
Next Saturday at noon Eastern time, we'll be in RFK Stadium in Washington, where the Giants will face the Redskins.
Young Scott Brunner is going to be an exciting young quarterback to watch, isn't he?
Appears to have been able to throw the ball pretty well today against Seattle. And Sunday, the Saints and the Jets, the Cardinals, the Eagles, the 49ers, the Falcons, and the Buccaneers against the Lions. Plunkett will throw on first down, you would expect. Pass is intended for tight end Raymond Chester. And he can't quite find a handle.
Jimmy just loaded it up. Plunkett has the style of coming straight over the top, like Jim Palmer throwing a fastball. And it really only has one trajectory, right from the top, right to the receiver. That time he just loaded it up, and even these receivers can't catch that one.
2:05 left to play in the football game. 2-minute warning in 5 seconds, and Oakland has all 3 of their timeouts left. Chandler and Branch both wide to the right.
Larry Cole is in there to get a little bit of a pass rush.
In between Too Tall Jones and Randy White, whose socks have wilted now. Plunkett has Chandler. He has a complete pass as well. And now we'll get the 2-minute warning. Steve Wilson was the defender for Dallas, but Oakland has the football with 1:59 left to play. They trail by 6. Dallas ahead 19-13.
Introducing a small wonder, the new Toyota Starlet. Born small to solve big problems. Born small to deliver more miles per gallon of gas than any other car, and designed to help beat higher maintenance costs. The very new Toyota Starlet, born small. In fact, it just may be the first small wonder of the world.
Oh, what a feeling!
Starlet.
Toyota.
Let me tell you something about blue jeans. You get in a jam up here and you got real problems. That's why I always go for the best tools, like this saw and my Levi's blue jeans. You see, tree bark will chew through most anything, but these jeans bite right back. And Levi's blue jeans got a fit that's made for work, and that's real important when the changing room's 200 feet down.
The fur is flying on the line of scrimmage. Larry Cole gets dumped. They put Harvey Martin in a bag. Randy White was straightened up. Tough block on the line of scrimmage and a good throw and catch.
There we are. It is getting cold up here. You're right.
It is. Maybe Rick Berry was right to wear
that big coat.
That live bear with him.
First and 10 at the 38. Plunkett drops. And again, the protection is adequate for a moment at least. Chandler has it. Chased by Wilson. The Raiders move to the Dallas 35.
Good throw by Plunkett and a great blocking job. They kept the pocket solid even though they got some penetration. And Chandler ran a 6 all the way across the field. This team can come back quickly. Watch the blocking. There's some penetration, but they hold together, and Plunkett makes a good throw. And Chandler can play with anybody.
A 32-yard pickup puts Oakland at the Dallas 30. Forget about field goals. Think about touchdown. Chandler's caught 5 balls for 80 yards. Plunkett again drops and throws high in the end zone. Picked off. Spectacular catch by Aaron Mitchell in the end zone. What a catch. Pass intended for Branch, and Aaron Mitchell comes from nowhere to make the interception.
He's made about 3 of those comes from nowhere. Knock away. He's had the flag dropped on him, but this is one of the great interceptions you'll see. The safety blitz, they came from everywhere. I saw Charlie Waters in there that time. Watch this play. And that was on Cliff Branch, who can run just a lot.
Here comes the blitz from Dallas.
Thurman, Barnes, Waters from the outside, and Plunkett's throw was on target.
Aaron Mitchell came up with a great interception, and Dallas will take over at the 20. But keep in mind that Oakland still has all 3 timeouts remaining. They can stop this clock. Come firing back again. That's Newhouse. And now they do stop the clock as Hendricks takes the timeout. Oakland now has 2 left. The Saints 35. The 49ers 28 at Candlestick. That Super Saturday coming up next Saturday here on CBS. 2nd and 9 here at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. We'll be in Washington for the Redskins and the Giants. Then there will be the Great American Truck Race, World Junior Figure Skating Championship.
Yep, the Great American Truck Race. That's got to be those big over-the-road jobs, huh?
On the road again. Ted Hendricks strolling over to the side to talk with defensive coordinator Charlie Sumner.
The Oakland defense has played extremely well and tough in the second half. They have just given Dallas not very much at all.
Remaining, Oakland will be at Denver next week. They finish against the New York Giants in New York. Dallas at Los Angeles next Monday night. And then the Eagles come to Dallas. Here's Tony Dorsett behind Herbert Scott. Nothing doing. Mike Davis came up, and again the Raiders will take a timeout. Not over yet.
Good defensive play over there. Is there a flag down? I see a player's on the ground.
Penalty marker down.
Is that Lester Hayes slow getting up?
It is Lester Hayes. Super player he is. You know, we did that Sun Bowl game when they played the University of Florida. There's Tom Flores. I saw him quarterback the Raiders at the Polo Grounds in 1960.
He and Art Powell.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit on number 36, defense. First down.
36 is Mike Davis. Clock is stopped at minute 33. Let's see if we can find that late hit.
All right, Hendricks makes the contact. Actually, Hayes came. He ducked his helmet down and tried to spear him. That's the reason he got the flag. You got to keep that helmet from digging into somebody that's on the ground.
Seattle 21, the Giants 20. Fourth quarter up in Seattle. First down Dallas. They give this time to Springs, and Springs fires straight ahead. Reggie Kinlaw led the defense.
First down, Dallas hasn't been able to get much going at all.
Oakland calls another timeout, and now they have 1 left.
White is now 14 of 27 for about 160 yards. He's been careful, though, with the INT, hasn't he?
Very. As if somebody spoke to him about that.
Tony Hill, who hasn't caught a ball, is still involved. I see him there with Danny. Interesting article when somebody interviewed Alicia Landry about her life with Tom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I said she had some nice things to say about it, and Tom said, well, I still got her fooled after all these years.
Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, followed by Archie Bunker's Place. One day at a time. And then on Alice,
oh boy,
Mel has a change of heart.
Better.
But it's more than the heart can stand. The Jeffersons and Trapper John M.D. all tonight here on CBS. And of course, after this game is over, we'll spin you back to New York. Brent Musburger for the scores and highlights of what took place today. A lot of answers. Dorsett gets away from one, is hit by two. Burgess Owens, who's played really well. They got him from the Jets.
And I mean, it was good contact. Burgess really filled this hole. Dorsett almost broke this play. He beats Hendricks to the outside. Burgess made a good solid tackle. Dorsett's got 94 yards now on 25 carries. That's a day's work.
That's the kind of work that he asked for. It has gotten very cold in Oakland now. The final score, Kansas City 31, Denver 14. Kansas City ups its record to 7-7. And Denver slips to 7-7, and playoff hopes go away for them.
Biggest hope that Oakland has right now, of course, it's third and just long enough that's going to force a decision to be made by the people you saw on the sidelines. But you can see Oakland has zip in the way of timeouts. There's only 1:19 on the clock.
It's 3rd and 4 for Dallas at the 43. Their own 43. A first down here would get the job done. Otherwise, they will have to kick it, and Oakland will have another chance. Saldi, flank to the left, starts back in motion. Oakland almost jumped off sides, but they didn't. Danny White chased by Hendricks. Knocked down, but a penalty marker down way downfield as Doug Cosby is down conferring with the officials.
Cosby and number 35 seem to run together. That's Dwayne Austin, the safety man. That was some sack by Hendricks. He has such agility, doesn't he, for a person 6'7".
Jerry Markbright.
There was no foul. No foul.
The flag just fell out of somebody's pocket.
Inadvertent flag.
Almost offsides by Millen. He gets back. Linebacker's fired. And I'll tell you, Hendricks, you just don't get away from him.
And Danny White on 4th and 19 will now have to punt. What a job he's done punting today. The Dallas offensive unit has struggled a bit against this fine Oakland defense, but White has kept them buried, particularly here in the second half with his fine punting.
They almost
advanced. White gets off a fairly decent kick. Taken by Matthews. Chase and out of bounds does Aaron Matthews get at the 43-yard line, but the Raiders with 35 seconds left to play have no timeouts.
Well, they can use the sidelines and waste a few passes if they get it going, but keep in mind they've got the dangerous receivers at the skilled positions. Nobody more dangerous right now than Cliff Branch or Chandler, and don't forget Raymond Chester.
And don't forget Matthews coming out of the backfield either. The Giants or Redskins next Saturday, 12 noon here on CBS.
Dallas is going with a prevent, the three-man rush, which is Randy White at the nose, Ed Too Tall Jones, and Harvey Martin up front.
Randy Hughes back deep with Charlie Waters. There's Plunkett, and Plunkett has time. Pass is complete to Matthews, and he struggles out of bounds. 28 seconds left on the game clock. Aaron Mitchell chasing.
Good defense, though. 4 or 5 yard reception here will not burn you. And you're right, Aaron Mitchell was in it again. Ira was saying maybe he was hit when he was out of bounds. He's gone into both benches on the last 2 plays.
I think he likes the one on this side a little bit better.
Pretty good rush by the 2 defensive ends on this one, out of a 3-man rush.
line of scrimmage at the 48-yard line in Oakland territory. Plunkett 16 out of 35, the 1 touchdown to Chester. He drops again. A lot of time. He's going deep for Pratt. Waters the interception. Charlie Waters picks it off at the 10. And now he runs out of bounds.
That's the 5th interception for Charlie Waters this year. That time Plunkett just loaded it up and tried to throw it over the defense. A crossing pattern would have probably been even safer than this one. I didn't think Cliff Branch even looked up for the ball until it was almost too late. Underthrown.
So Charlie Waters picks it off for Dallas. And for whatever reasons, he ran out of bounds and stopped the clock with 16 seconds left to play.
Why in the world would he run out of bounds? Well, I understand why you would run out of bounds. I would too, but if he just goes back to the inside of the field and makes a couple of good moves, the game's over.
Maybe he had on his mind that he might fumble.
Or that brace on his knee.
Right. All they have to do now is just do what they call the chicken kneel in some places.
The flop play.
Bob Stinner produced. Again so well. Sandy Grossman, the pictures, our director, again so well. Thank you, Ray, and thank you, Brooks. Dallas moves into a first-place tie with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Who have now lost 2 straight games.
And both now have records of 11-3. San Diego lost earlier, and Oakland loses as Tom Landry strolls off. So they are tied for first place in the AFC's Western Division with records of 9-5.
And of course, Dallas plays Los Angeles, and Ferragamo's out.
Should be interesting. From the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, then, for Tom Brookshire, this is Pat Summerall saying so long.